Kicking like Dolomite. Last one got copyright. I'm kicking like Dolomite.
5 just to be sure.
Hey, one time, you ready? Copyright.
Yeah.
Last one got copyright. Hey.
You know what time it is. Every time I rhyme, it's just a sign that I'm about to kill. Yeah, it's time for weapon wheel. We got the skill, we got the games. Don't make me grab it still. I put a hole in one like Abby did to Joe. Yeah, for real. And when it comes to aiming, I don't miss like Master Chief. I'll grab the piece and give your ass a halo just for talking sweet. When it comes to gaming, yeah, you know our team's elite. Check the leaderboards, we run the game. You should pick up your feet. You can't lose them too smooth, just going to admit defeat. And ain't no capping around here, cause like Bond, I keep receipts. The most dangerous, better than these other guys. Try to come for us, what's like between your eyes like Jen Sakai. That's no lie, no prank. I grab the ratchet, no clank, and get my jiggy mask to show you how Jack Move got his name. Yeah.
Weapon Wheel Podcast.
Look. King of the castle like Cooper, captain of the ship. My name ain't Blandry, but don't make me have to hit the switch. We'll dump you overboard, then watch the views. I ain't talking Twitch. Hey, yo, Alex, go ahead. Talk to him real quick.
Oh, that Dolomite is my name, and fucking up motherfuckers is my game. Dolomite, motherfucker, you heard her.
Claim it, a strike to claim it. And he got it!
They had the nerve to copyright the guy. One time, it's just the bitches. Hey. Say yo, still putting wheels on the pavement. My game so tight, it's like Jordan 1 lazy. We stay in these gaming streets, ain't no way to be dormant. Ay, a Drake will leave your body uncharted like Lost Fortune. Coco Long scene was cute, ay, and yeah, it served its purpose. But I'm trying to give a detailed description of what a hearse is. I say we flip the switch on these niggas before it get bland. I see a lot of pods jacking the format like Dapper Dan. You hitting the dislike button? You still a fan? Talk slick in the comments and like Dutch, I got a plan. We don't do the sneak diss and that's that stuff that get you banned. Last time we told your ass to squat up, you turn telling right. It's like I play with the sliders up. You just got 30 niggas, heard me, the time is up. Since 2015, we been kicking game knowledge up. Dust your boots and join the crew if you wild enough.
Developers.
Dolomite, motherfucker, you heard her.
40 clips, kicking like Dolomite. Hey, 40 clips. Aimed at your fit beam, shotties, so much ammo, it don't make sense. Trying to compete is a sacrifice, die again in your afterlife. I'm taking a road trip anytime you niggas wanna fight. Polygons and body counts, that's all that I tend to like. Any other podcast, a copy or look alike. Hey, and what they say? Hey, what I say? Hey, I put them in the dirt. Toss like get hurt, no face, no case, smashed up like a jiggy merch shirt. Sliding in that vet, I'm gonna get back, time to pay that debt. It's time for weapon wheel.
Yo, mic check. What's going on, everybody? Let me know if y'all hear me good. What's going on? We here. Episode 300. Hold on.
What up?
What's going on, man? What's up?
Watching this fucking Dallas Giants game.
Last time I checked, Giants were down by 10. I don't expect it got any better.
We got good news. It's 10-10 now. The bad news is Saquon is out and Daniel Jones got hit in the head, and he tried to run it in for like he got hit in the head. He was trying to run it in from like the 3. He got up. He started stumbling all over the field. So he's out now.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Things are bad, man.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, audio's good. Yeah, that's rough, man. Listen, I'm a Eagles fan. I ain't really been paying attention to the season really so far. I know they're like 2-2. It's not as bad, but still.
Yeah, I mean, Giants they're screwed, but at least the Knicks start in 10 days.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Daniel Jones is it. I don't think he's bad, but I don't know if he's it.
He can. I think the problem is they got decent wide receivers now. The main problem is like he just has no help on that offense. That offensive line is just terrible. Like he gets touched so much, and it's like he tries to do too much to overcompensate. And now with Saquon out again, it's just like the dude can't do it all. I just think they need to just if Jones is out and Saquon's out, just go out there and try, but be realistic.
Yeah, and Saquon, he's been hurt like the last few years, like a couple of times.
It's now time to start looking at that dude as unfortunately probably just prone to injuries.
Yeah. Tragic. But yeah, man, we had Weapon Wheel episode 300, man. Made it 300 episodes.
Yes, sir. Even though I came here much later in the game. Yes, sir.
I see David Jaffe is very happy with you.
Oh man, did he actually mention my name, or did he just?
I don't know. I just saw that clip, but it definitely sounded like he was talking about you. I love shit like that though. It makes me so happy to see that.
I only throw shots at Jaffe because he threw shots at us first.
Right.
So
well, he was on the show, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on the show, and pretty much we treated him like a normal person. Like when I brought him on, I didn't bring him on and ask him, all the typical questions people ask him. So how did you create God of War? I'm like, listen, that's you've been interviewed about that like 30 times. If you want to find out that question or find somebody that asked him that question, there's no shortage of those interviews of people asking him the exact same questions. So I didn't do that because I already know the answer. Everybody knows the answer. And I didn't bring you on to I'm not going to stroke your ego about God of War, which you created 20 years ago. Like, I'm just not going to do it. So when we brought him on, I just treated him like a regular panel member and got a little bit of his insight, but I treated him like a regular person. And I don't think he liked that, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that perspective though, because I'm kind of the mindset where it's like, it's the same thing. Like, you did stuff in history, but it's like, what have you done in the past decade or something? Like you can appreciate the history of it, but everyone knows the history, so it's like,
Yeah. If he had done something recent, I would have been like, listen, Jaffe, I want to talk to you about this recent thing you did. But the most recent thing you did was Drawn to Death, and obviously nobody wants to talk about Drawn to Death. So I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you.
Yeah. Smoove, your kids acting wild. I can hear them. What's going on, Shokio? We honestly didn't expect you to show up. I'm gonna be real.
You doubted the Nintendo fan Shokio?
I don't know why. I'm always timely. They bugging.
Bro, you are the worst. Don't become a father. That's all.
You really are, Shokio. I hit you up on Thursday and you didn't let me know until like an hour or two ago.
Don't blame me, man. Just blame on my fucking YouTube and Twitch followers.
Right. No excuses. Like I said, don't become a parent. You would be.
That's why I got into the whole just not checking DMs, because I would just get too many and people ain't even asking me shit that's interesting.
Right. Just
you're missing out on business opportunities ignoring those DMs.
BG, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Robbie.
Hey, you're gonna have to stop all that slander about being a parent now. I got 3 kids and I've already beat more games than all y'all, so I don't want to hear none of that. And I be spending time with them too. It ain't like I be neglecting them. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know how you do it. I admit that. But kudos to you. I love how all the people with kids just talk about. Man, I love being a parent. I think y'all. I think y'all are in a cult that are forcing y'all to say that. The cult of parenthood.
Is that what it is?
They compensating.
Nah, man, you'll understand. You'll understand. You'll get there one day.
I don't know if I will. I mean, I know I'm gonna get there, but I don't know if I'm gonna understand. I think it's gonna
right.
Kind of suck.
Wait, so apparently Jack Move's internet went off right before the podcast?
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he claimed. But he's probably taking the shit. But oh, so yeah, it's our 300th episode, and Blandrew will be the host today. So I get to kick back, relax, and do what y'all do every other
Yes,
Sunday.
sir.
So yeah, I mean, would you like me to do the typical formalities, and then you'll take over?
Yeah, you can do the intros and everything. I was hoping Bond and Jack Move would be here so we can have a little discussion about the podcast, but
okay,
I guess they decided to just not show up
yeah, Bond
on the 300th episode or be late.
Yeah, Bond said he's just gonna be a little late, and Jack Move's internet decides to work all day and then go out right now. We'll see. All right, so yeah, we gonna get it started. So this is Weapon Wheel Podcast, episode 300. Go ahead and press the like button for that, just for 300 episodes, man. We made it. I don't know how far we gonna go. I think I promised we gonna go to at least 500, and after that, I don't know what exactly the plan is gonna be. I might have kids by then. We might switch to like maybe two podcasts a month, like do it every other week. We might do that. I don't know. No promises. But by 500 episodes, we ain't gonna keep going at this pace. Probably not. Just putting it out there. But we're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all your favorite audio streaming platforms. Please hit the like button, like I said, support the podcast. Check out the Weapon Wheel Patreon. The link is in the description for that. If you want to listen to After Dark, you just have to pledge to one of the tiers on there, and you get another show. Another good, entertaining show after that. You can also hit the join button, become a member, support the channel. If you want to submit a video to be featured during the podcast, link is also in the description for that. And yeah, so let's do these intros. I'm going to start out with Shokio. Tell the people about yourself, even though they should already know.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Shok. I come in here every now and then. Ex-YouTuber, had to come out the crumb side, you know what I'm saying? Kind of over at Twitch these days, so if you guys would like to follow me, know what's going on with me, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Shokio. And I'm also using my Twitter a lot more often these days. So, yeah.
Okay. Robbie?
Yeah, what's going on? It's Robbie Fox. You can follow me on Twitter. And episode 300, man, that's crazy because I was literally thinking, man, BG, I was watching you back when you were doing Uncharted 2 top 10 video, top 10 plays and all that.
Man.
And like I got actually like on one of your videos, and I'm like, bro, how long ago was that? It had to be over 10 years ago.
It's at least 10 years now.
It's insane, man. But hey, congrats to you, congrats to the panel, man. This is awesome. Episode 300. Let's get it.
Right. RGT.
What's up? Glad to be here. Definitely congratulations on 300 episodes. I mean, that's a big milestone. Congratulations on pissing off David Jaffe, making for some very interesting tweets this afternoon. I'd love to see stuff like that, and I am definitely glad to be here.
I'm always glad to provide the timeline with some entertainment. It's always my pleasure. Smoove, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh man, I just woke up from a fucking daddy.
I'm about to say you seem tired.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
A daddy. So this is what parents need, and y'all trying to convince me this is heat to be. It's great being a parent, huh? But you need midday naps. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Episode 300. Shout out to Blandrew. We want to watch Blandrew work. Shout out to Robbie Fox. RGT. Always good to see you. Shok. Yeah, man. I missed this whole Jaffe thing because I really want to. I probably missed the recap too, but I want to know what he said. But yeah, let's get the show going.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Pretty much, he was just doing a whole bunch of crying, bitching, and moaning. Oh, it's too hard, typical stuff like that. And Blandrew, who is our host.
How's it going, everybody? Episode 300. I don't usually ask for likes or subscribes or retweets or anything like that, but it would mean a lot if you guys hit the like button here. We've been doing this for a while now. Your Sundays would be absolutely horrible if it wasn't for this podcast.
Facts.
So, let's start with our very first topic. I was gonna, do a little status report to see how everybody on the panel is holding up, but two of the main people on the panel aren't even here, so I want to talk about Sora in Super Smash Bros. On October 5th, 2021, it marked the end of an era, the era known as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the fighting game of this generation. The final character to be announced in Sakurai's last direct was Sora, one of the most. It was the absolute #1 most requested character for this franchise of all time. Shokio, as a Smash player, how do you feel about this?
So I like Kingdom Hearts generally, but not to the point where I would say that I'm a fan. But that aside, I feel like Sora is the most fitting possible finale of a character that could have been announced. And it's basically for the reason you already stated. Like Sora was literally the most requested character from that Smash 4 ballot back in the day. But I mean, even before Smash 4 even came along, like people have been talking about Sora ever since like Sonic and Snake were announced for Brawl or whatever. Because Kingdom Hearts was, I mean, Kingdom Hearts is still big, but it was especially huge back in the day. You know, when it first kind of came out and kicked off with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. So. I think it's like I said, I think it's a really good finish. I think it's the best way that they could have finished, honestly. And despite not being a Kingdom Hearts fan, I respect the decision and it makes complete sense. And I think it's a dope addition.
Okay. Is there anybody here that you wanted to be in Smash that didn't make it?
Yeah, but they were already like deconfirmed, and that being a Travis touchdown. Like that's my dude. I wanted him in the game so bad, but instead
That's the dude from No More Heroes.
Yeah. Instead, they decided to disrespect my man's and put him in as a me costume, which I'm not touching because fuck me's. But yeah, Travis, I would have liked Chronicles X to get a rep, but they kind of skipped X and went to 2. But as long as we get another Xenoblade rep, I'm fine with that. And outside of that, like not really. Like I thought Monster Hunter would have been cool, but then they put in Byleth, who's essentially the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably not. I was like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, like I mean, out of 80 characters, all these characters that's in the game, I just feel like you just got to be a baby to not be satisfied with this roster at this point.
Okay. What about you, RGT? I know you're like a Nintendo fan.
Personally, Sora, I had a feeling it was going to be Sora, and I'm glad for fans of Kingdom Hearts that it was Sora, and it is fitting, but it did nothing for me. I kind of was watching and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen, something a little crazier, something like, Master Chief, Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, just something a little bit off the wall. And, Sora was a very safe pick. Obviously highly requested, Sora and Goku, which I don't really care about Dragon Ball either. So both of those picks were just going to be like, for me. I think the bigger thing and the more annoying thing is the whole Kingdom Hearts games coming to the Switch, but I don't know if that's a different segment or if we're going to talk about it in here. But that's something I'm not a big fan of at all.
Okay. Any other thoughts about this before we move on, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, real fast, I was just gonna say. So I think I'm the only like Hollow Knight fan probably here. I know Blandrew, you probably. I don't know. Have you played it, Blandrew? Have you ever played Hollow Knight?
I didn't play it enough to say if I was truly a fan of it, but from the early like points of the game that I did play, I thought the writing was cool from some of the characters that you meet in the world.
So like I love it, and I was like, man, would it be crazy if like Hornet from Hollow Knight, which is going to be the main character in Silk Song, would be the last character? Obviously, that's like out of left field. That would almost never be the case. But I was hoping that, and then we would get a release date, because ever since Nintendo actually talked about Silk Song and we got like a trailer for it, we never got a release date, and that was in like 2019. So that's just what I was hoping for. But that was strictly from a selfish like point of view, because I don't play Smash, don't really care for it. So I didn't really care about Sora. I was like, all right, well, that's great for whoever wants them. But man, that's what I was hoping for. And of course, no no luck. So once I saw that, I just turned it off. So that's basically my whole thoughts on the whole thing.
Okay. Master Chief, though, that's something you guys really wanted, though?
Yes,
a lot of people want Chief.
I think not even necessarily because of the character being introduced, but that obviously would have opened up a lot more between this alleged Xbox and Nintendo connection that's supposedly, like really supposed to be, popping off or something like that. And, because all the characters that were in Smash Brothers have been on a Nintendo platform before, whereas Master Chief hasn't. So that could have been the door to a Halo port, something with Game Pass. Just, I think it would have been the aftermath would have been a lot of it more interesting than Sora was.
Okay. Jazzy, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Obviously, I think this is probably the best way they could have ended the Smash DLC. I mean, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, and I thought it was pretty amazing to see. Like the first thing you see is that Mickey Mouse emblem of his Keyblade, and right there now, I got really excited for that. I think it's the best. And one of the things I do like is the fact that they use the Kingdom Hearts 1 design and base his moveset around that because he's the most grounded as he's been throughout the game. So I feel like it was a fitting.
Okay. Now, Shokyo, you're somebody that I know that says like Smash Bros needs a complete reboot of the gameplay mechanics because it's just gotten too out of control with characters like Dragon Quest Hero, Kazuya, I believe even Terry Bogard and a couple other characters that have made its way through DLC. From what you've seen about Sora's moveset, how are you feeling about that?
For the most part, from a design standpoint, doesn't look too offensive. Now, what's already there can be overtuned in terms of, oh, does too much damage, too much knockback. But as far as the design, Sora looks like, he just plays Smash. He's a Smash character. It's not like Steve, where he's sitting there building houses on people and shit and doing all that annoying bullshit. Like, it's just kind of, he's essentially a sword character that just kind of has a couple spells. So, like, yeah, I'm down with the design. He seems pretty safe enough.
Okay, you think this is a character you'll be using or no?
Nah, because I don't like floaty characters.
Ah, okay.
He's always super floaty.
Still gonna main Sheik and then complain about why she's so weak and you're losing and.
Look, now, I think Sheik's a good character, but sometimes I gotta vent because that game is frustrating, and I hate the fact that. That's another kind of worms I'm not going to get into. I'll take 50 minutes this podcast talking about that game's roster and how people play that game. So I'm not trying to get into all that.
Okay.
Here's my question though, right? Now that y'all have Nintendo has worked this man to the bone, this man Sakurai, like you could practically see his actual, skeleton in this man being deprived of all food since y'all made him put 80 characters into the damn game, right?
Yeah.
When is the next time y'all gonna even get a Smash Brothers game now? Because this man put 80 characters and that's a big investment.
Yeah.
Right? When are y'all gonna get anything Smash again? Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you,
for a long time.
Going into next generation, I would not be upset in any way, shape, or form if they pulled the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe treatment with Smash and had Sakurai do something completely different, like a sequel to Kid Icarus or something like that. But Smash Bros, I'm okay where it's at. Maybe do a little bit of tweaks and maybe just some DLC characters to be like, all right, Smash Bros DX, and here's like Chief, here's some other characters that we wanted to put in the game, but we just didn't have enough time and we were working on whatever we were working on. But I'm for Kid Icarus Uprising 2. I'm for literally anything else but another Smash Bros for a moment.
I think you're right with that. I don't even think they'll add new stuff into it. Honestly, I think they'll just release it with all of the DLC on the next Switch whenever that comes out, and that'll be it for Smash. Because realistically, I mean, Smash does kind of need a reboot. I mean, what more can you really do as far as what type of gameplay you have in it now? What more can you really do to expand upon it besides just adding in new people? So I definitely think it's going to be quite a while until a new Smash Brothers comes out.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's why I feel like they have no choice but to do a reboot. Like, kind of, you know how games will have sequels, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then they'll do a reboot where it's just the title again, like God of War, right? Like how they did with God of War 2018. I feel like they have to because, of course, handling a roster of 80 characters and building upon that every new entry is impossible. You just can't do that. That'd be way too fucking much for one.
Third parties and licenses and all that stuff they gotta focus on.
Yeah, and as we saw with Ultimate, due to the roster size, the game was lacking in actual game modes and content, things to do. They didn't have break the targets and stuff like that. The stage builder had to be added in as DLC and stuff like that. So the launch Ultimate was actually really bare bones, and honestly the game still is really bare bones, and that's because most of the budget goes to the fucking licensing fees for these third party characters. And shit. So in my ideal world, I would like Smash 6 to, like I said, be a reboot, kind of reimagine, rethink some of the mechanics, and have a roster of 35, 40 characters. Something like that, I feel like would be healthy. And, y'all were saying, what can they do next? I feel like the only thing they can do is kind of reinvent the game from a gameplay perspective.
I think you kill Smash doing that, though.
I'm not saying like don't make it like percent based and about launching people, but just not don't even like remove anything per se. Just add things that add more depth to it, like how Ultimate added pairing, like more things like that to just kind of breathe some new life into the game from a gameplay perspective.
So let me ask you something. If Smash Bros. 6, wait, what are we on? 5, 6?
It's 5.
If the next one comes out and we've got the same roster size as Melee, but we got like more modes and everything, you think that goes over well? Like we're slashing the roster in half, and to be honest, that's the main thing people are here for when it pertains to Smash, is seeing their favorite characters in the game, even if they only play that character for like 10 minutes, like a Banjo-Kazooie or somebody.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and we all know this about Nintendo fans. Nintendo fans will complain about something before it comes out, and then the moment it drops, they're day one. So if Sakurai was like, this next Smash game's gonna have 26 characters, y'all, people are gonna bitch, moan, and complain. But then once the game's out for a week and Nintendo releases those sales numbers, Smash 6 sold 30 million copies in the first week, so I don't think it'll matter in the long run.
So
okay,
let me ask, why is it a thing, right? Because I always see like when they do these Smash Bros character reveals, people live streaming it, and people like lose their mind, either being upset or being happy, right? But I'm like, you don't play Smash. Like, there are some people I absolutely know do not play Smash, but lose their mind when a character is revealed. Is it just that they're excited to see a character from an IP they like in Smash? Is that it? Because like, it's kind of weird to me. You don't even play the game.
Let me answer that. I'll answer that. Because I played competitively Injustice 2 and then Mortal Kombat X. So when those games came out, when a character got revealed, for the like competitive players, or at least I know from in that scene in the FGC, we didn't care as much about who the character was. We cared about how the character played. So when Shokyo was saying like, oh no, like I wouldn't play Sora because what you described him as floaty or whatever. So if a character was a zoner, but you like playing rushdown characters, it could be your favorite character in the franchise, but competitively, you're probably not going to play with that character much because of how the character plays. So I don't know if in Smash people care like, oh, I love Sora or I love this, character, but you see how it plays and maybe you're like, oh, that's not really my style. So I don't really know if that goes into it when it comes to getting excited.
I get that part. I get that's functionality and utility over just like who the character is. But I'm talking about people who just flat out don't play Smash but excited about character reveals. Like,
it's for the views.
You
do an over the top reaction. You laugh, you cry, you scream. It's like every character that's been revealed. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like even Banjo-Kazooie, I was like, oh, that's
it's part of the online react culture.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole thing. Like I never react to stuff live. I'll just watch it, take my notes, and then make a video on it afterwards and call it a reaction. And people are like, why aren't you freaking out? It's like, because I mean, it's just
I'm a grown man. That's why I'm not freaking out.
Like shit.
Yeah, that whole eye bucking culture is pretty big on YouTube, and Smash Bros is one of the biggest games you can do that for some easy views. So I'm not surprised people act that way, the way that they do when it pertains to Smash. It is weird, but I mean, it is what it is.
Well, look, just to give another quick example, going back to from Mortal Kombat 11, actually, Melina wasn't in the game originally, and all of like I guess the Melina stands were like messaging Ed Boon, sending threats like every time he'd say something like, "Where's Melina? Where's Melina?" And as soon as she got added in like one of the final DLC packs, no one played her because she was considered low tier. She was considered not that good. So nobody even cared that she wasn't in the game. They cared. They wanted her in the game, and they wanted her to be one of the best characters. So all these people that are fake hype and whatever, at the end of the day, they probably really don't care. Like y'all said, it's just for views and clicks and all that kind of stuff. Anyway,
There's an even better example of that. Banjo, and as big as Banjo was requested for Smash, I can tell you that is one of the least played characters in Smash.
Wow.
Despite everyone losing their shit when he was announced.
So it's gamers just being gamers, crying about something that they never going to use. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Much. I've seen gamers crying over the Final Fantasy VII remake, and they've never even played it before. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just more so.
No, Trey had a guy on his channel that was crying and shedding a tear over Final Fantasy or something, and he didn't even play it before, and he was just like, "Well, I'm not going to play this, but this is beautiful."
Oh,
Akasan.
Was that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it the art? Oh, it's art. It's so beautiful. Like, man, cut it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so I never played Final Fantasy VII, but you know.
Yeah. Okay, any last thoughts before we move on?
Nope.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay,
Rest
Wait, go ahead.
Rest in peace, character speculation. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yo, those people, I just very quickly, I was subscribed to a lot of them just because I was interested. And like even like the big insider Smash reveal characters, they were never right. They were never right the entire time. And it was so bizarre to me. Like, how could you just be wrong all the time and people just still like watch you and fuck with you? Like, that's amazing. I hope I can do that one day.
I think it's more of a feel good thing. Like even with like games like platform leakers and everything, they know they're lying, but they just like to feel good at the end of the day. Oh man, we're getting a Legend of Dragoon remake. Nothing in the world is pointing to Legend of Dragoon, but you know, if you say it, it gets the people going. So
Silent Hill.
Yeah,
Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid.
It's the word.
I
It's
hear
the
that
words
every
you
month.
use too. You got to use words like potentially or there's a possibility. Like you got to use certain words. You know what I mean? So that way you're technically not lying. You know, I've seen that a lot in these videos. It's crazy.
yeah. And alongside Sora coming to Smash Brothers, we also got the announcement that Kingdom Hearts 1, the 1 trilogy, the 2nd trilogy, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are coming to the Switch, but they're going to be over the cloud. RGT, you said you wanted to talk about this.
I don't like it. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3, I understand. I can understand that because that was designed with the PlayStation 4, Xbox One in mind, whatever. The Kingdom Hearts games that are coming over are the remixed editions that have bizarre subtitles and stuff like that originally released on the PlayStation 3. Now, supposedly source code was lost for those games, engineering, blah, blah, blah. It comes down to the fact that this is Square, all right? Square makes a lot of money on Nintendo fans. Games like Octopath Traveler, games like that upcoming Project Triangle Strategy. Those I don't feel like those games would have sold quite as well on other platforms. So for Square to just not want to do it, and I know I talked to MVG about it, and since he's like a developer, and he told me a bunch of shit, and I kind of understood it, but I still don't like it because a cloud version of a game kind of defeats the purpose about what the Switch is supposed to be. If you leave your house, you're not going to be able to play this game. So I guess it's better than nothing, but I can see this starting to become a trend with games like Control, games like Hitman 3, games like Dying Light 2, and now these Kingdom Hearts games. And I just don't feel like the cloud market is there yet. And I don't feel like a lot of people who are playing these games on the Switch want them to be cloud versions.
Yeah, and I saw that that MVG tweet or whatever he was saying about Kingdom Hearts. Respectfully, there is not a thing you can tell me to convince me that the Switch cannot handle some PS2 games on the Switch. You can't even really convince me about Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, we have games like The Witcher and a couple other bigger name games that are on the Switch that are running okay for the Nintendo Switch. This, in my I don't like to say lazy developers or anything like this, but in my opinion, this is a complete lazy move by Square Enix. I will not be buying this game. I urge Nintendo fans not to support this game because a cloud-based future is disgusting and should not be supported, in my opinion.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I think these ports weren't probably like originally planned and are honestly probably, it's kind of weird to say, but I feel like they're only happening because Sora's gotten to Smash. And so they just felt like, oh, we have to throw a little something, but we don't have the time to do like an actual port. So let's just, do the cloud version. So that way this can release as close to possible as Sora being in Smash type deal.
Yeah, I think, but I mean, even in that same breath, it's like, is Square thinking, oh, well, Kingdom Hearts wouldn't sell on Nintendo Switch? It's like bullshit. There's a lot of younger audience who love Disney stuff and they would eat this game up. They would love it. They would want to play it. And if they've even played it before, they might want to play it again just to play it on the Switch. So it's a weird business decision because if that's the case, that means Square never thought of putting Kingdom Hearts on the Switch beyond that stupid rhythm game that came out a couple
Melody
months
of
ago.
Memories.
Yeah,
I just bought that too, just to buy it. I don't know.
Hey, so I was gonna say, so I had said that I had never played a Kingdom Hearts game, and people were eating me alive for that. Is that something I should be ashamed of,
No.
or am I the only
No.
one?
No, not really.
Because I ain't
Not at
never
all.
played any of those, and even now, like I go back and play like games that I haven't played in the past if I get time and caught up. But that is just not a game I just feel like playing. I don't know.
It's surprising to find someone who hasn't played it, but it's not a must-play series. No,
I played the
Yeah.
first
Okay,
one and
yeah.
then purposely never played the other ones.
1 and 2 are cool, but I mean, it's not something I'm gonna be like, bro, you have to play Kingdom Hearts. You're
Nah, I'll
missing
tell you
out on one of the
this,
best
I'll tell
RPG
you
experiences.
this.
You're good.
I think because they're older, like because people say that 1 and 2 are better than 3, and I'm assuming that's the case, right?
Yes.
So if there was like a full remake, and like you know how we get like full remakes of certain games, and it's like it's up to date quality, like then maybe I would consider it. But I'm like, I don't really feel like going back and playing a PS2 game. You know what I mean? If
Well,
I'm not like invested.
If Square
So-
did that, it would release it in 4 different parts, like they're gonna
Oh,
do with
yeah.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. So
Nah. And this is funny considering they already re-released it like on the Epic Store for PC already. So it's kind of weird that we're only just getting cloud version of those games specifically. So I ain't getting it. I've already played those games enough times as it is
Yeah.
on other systems. And they've been re-releasing like on the PS3 and the PS4, Xbox, and now PC on Epic Store. So they can keep it. I'll be all right.
Okay. Hey, RGG, have you ever played a cloud version of a game on the Switch yet, or no?
I have. I actually did Hitman 3 because I figured, that's a slow enough game to where, I mean, you're supposed to be stealthy. So, if there was going to be input lag and stuff like that, I would see it in that game. I did it at my house on my home internet, which is pretty good. And I mean, it ran decent, but you could still tell that you were playing a cloud version of a game. It didn't feel like super optimized or something like that. So I'm not a huge fan of these cloud games if that's how they're going to feel. I didn't check out Control. A lot of times they do demos with the cloud version of the game so that you could see if your internet can handle it. So I'll probably like check out the demo just out of curiosity of Kingdom Hearts, and I don't plan on buying them.
Okay. Hey, Bon, you there?
I'm here.
We're talking about Sora in Smash Bros. Right now, as well as the Kingdom Hearts collection coming over to the Nintendo Switch via the cloud.
If you're playing anything on the cloud on Nintendo's broke ass network, you've already owned yourself.
And Sora in Smash, what do you think?
If people want him, he's there. Don't bother me anyway or another.
Okay. Let's move on to the next topic.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, do you know why they're making these games cloud? Because they need a Switch 2. A Switch Pro.
You really think the Nintendo Switch can't handle some PS2 games?
Isn't Kingdom Hearts 3 a PS4 game or a PS3 game?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also the collections of the PS2 games coming over to the Switch as well, and the PSP games.
And every game is cloud based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying if they can't give you one, I mean, look, it's either all or nothing. They're going to give you all native versions or all cloud versions. They're not going to give you the prior versions native and the last version cloud. That would look even more stupid.
But that's what they're doing with Dying Light.
Yeah.
Dying Light 1 comes out in like 6 days for the Switch, and then in February when Dying Light 2 comes out, Switch is getting a cloud version.
Which no
Like
self-respecting person would play.
Right.
For real. These cloud versions of like the games even in Japan are trash. And their internet's way better than ours. Like literally, if you're buying a cloud version over the Nintendo network, just throw your money in the trash can. Or just donate it to Mercury Steam.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a better idea.
And it's even worse for Kingdom Hearts because those are JRPGs. So
Yeah, I mean the combat's action based, so it's gonna be a fast moving game. So I just don't see how it's gonna work all that great.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was on the PlayStation Portable, but it can't be native on the Switch. Okay, I got it.
I mean, I don't understand like why people would want to play on the cloud, period. Like, you know what kind of games I would play on the cloud?
Chess.
Games like Advance Wars or XCOM. Chess, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing where I like Fire Emblem. Nothing where I legitimately have to react and aim to or anything like that.
On Wi-Fi, because most of these are like Nintendo Switch dudes play via Wi-Fi anyway. So
Yeah. Well, let's move on. So there's a YouTuber, pretty decent sized YouTuber in the community by the name of David Jaffe, who finds himself amongst who
That's
finds himself
crazy to introduce David Jaffe as a YouTuber. That shit's wild. Hey man, I have never even disrespected that man like that. You go ahead.
Nah,
I'm with it.
he's a glorified YouTuber. I'm not
Oh,
calling him a
man.
game developer anymore.
Okay.
Local YouTuber David
Dang.
Jaffe finds himself in it's a pretty hot doo-doo today. He says, and I quote, minus the curse words, of course. I'm a Christian man. Kena, Metroid, Returnal, all leading the march towards super challenging games. Maybe it's the NES generation coming into their own as designers, but I hate this garbage. And it's not an age thing either. I never liked it, but it wasn't so rampant. It's like devs these days want to push players away. And he's been getting a lot of smoke from gamers in the community over his stupid comment.
As he should.
Rightfully so.
That's
here's
ridiculous.
what I think. 99% of games are made for the casual.
Mm-hmm.
And yet when we get that 1%,
A crumb.
we just want that 1%. We can't even get that without them bitching. Ow, Sekiro's too hard. Demon Souls is too hard. Cuphead needs like, can we have anything without them complaining? They get everything. And we're just asking, like you said, for one little crumb, and we can't even have that.
I never thought somebody would complain about a game that has difficulty options. So the fact that he threw Kena in there when it literally has
Yeah.
a story mode option, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like he couldn't even beat it on that.
Nah,
I've
he
heard
beat-
people complain that it's still hard on the story mode.
No,
Shit.
I don't.
No.
I don't believe so.
David Jaffe was playing that on normal.
But even if people thought it was hard, it's fair. Like especially on story mode, where like I don't feel like have they fixed some of the issues? They've had some patches. They've had like 4 or 5 patches since the game was launched. I feel like they fixed some of the like hitbox issues and stuff like that. So I feel like the game's fair enough. You know, it's not like it's cheating you out of beating these bosses or whatever. So
Yeah, like because listen, you got all these random people on Twitter complaining like, oh, it's not hurting anybody if you put difficulty options in games, but when games still have difficulty options, people are still complaining. Like I don't remember. I know there's easy, medium, and hard in Kena. There's no way you're telling me that Jaffe is having trouble on that easiest mode. Like was he playing on normal? I guess normal was too hard. If he's playing on normal and normal was too hard, you should just stop playing games. I'm just being real with you. Like, come on, man. Like you complaining about Returnal, I can kind of understand. Like I don't think it's necessarily difficult, but I can understand generally how people could find that. But Kena and Metroid, bro, you're just outclassed by modern games at this point. It's not about difficulty. You just don't have a grasp on how modern games work anymore. Like maybe in old age, your reaction time is bad. You can't keep up, but don't complain. Like listen, I'm probably the least experienced, I guess, out of all game genres. I would say MMOs, but I'm not gonna go into an MMO space, start playing an MMO, and start complaining to people. Oh, it's too hard, and I don't get this. I'm either just gonna get good or I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Like, listen, I'm just not good at it. Like, why are these people complaining? Just shut up. That's it.
Smoove, you hear these guys right now? You're all about genre bending and genre changing. What do you think about Mr. David Jaffe's comments?
Now,
remember, Smoove, you did say that they need to overhaul the whole JRP genre.
I have my the thing is that all right. I'm not really I agreed with something Jeff said, but it had nothing to do with this tweet about like Kena and what was it? What the game? Metroid
and Returnal.
And Returnal. Okay, so I am not a fan of games just being hard just because they got nothing better else to do but to up the difficulty. Now Kena, I think Kena's difficulty in my opinion was just a surprise because I thought it was a child's game. On face value, so it was like, oh, okay, this is different. And as far as Metro, I haven't played it, so I can't really say anything about that. Returnal is just pure garbage. So it's always nice to see somebody, slay an overrated PlayStation game. But other than that, man, I have horrible takes. I don't think they're horrible, but a lot of people believe I have horrible takes with certain games. I don't like games that are trying to be known or as big as feature is being difficult. These aren't quite the games that I will put in that category. But I mean, Jaffe, I mean, he's the God of War creator, so I mean, I'm not sure.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, we should be, speaking.
He's a YouTuber. He's not the God of War creator.
He's made games. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion and whatnot. But I don't know. This is a tough spot for me because I don't like difficult games. I'll play them, but I don't like them though.
Here's the thing. If you don't like difficult, BG, if you don't like a game, are you forced to play it?
Nope.
Exactly.
Same
if you
thing
don't
with
like
TV
difficult
show.
games,
I change the
don't
channel.
play it, don't watch it. But if other people enjoy it, stop trying to mess with our enjoyment.
I just came in quickly to say what his actual argument is, which is still stupid. But his argument was that he shouldn't have to turn the difficulty down because it breaks the immersion, and the AI should be smart enough, and the game should just adapt.
Wow.
You
want machine learning?
That reminds me of when. That reminds me of when
It's
Baron
so
was saying the
stupid.
game was too easy, but refused to put it on hard mode.
God of War.
He said Fire Emblem. Baron said Fire Emblem was too easy, but wouldn't play it with on regular mode where people die, they don't come back.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of the game.
Yep.
It's a pride thing. Niggas don't want to have to turn down the difficulty.
All right, real quick. Hold on, 1 second.
Options?
1 second, real quick.
Go ahead.
Some people gonna have to leave because there's way too many people in there.
Hardhead, I'm about to leave. I can't even see what his argument was.
Hardhead, I know you wanted to address Blandrew on something, so address that and then.
Because I know y'all was getting around to the whole emulation argument, but because Blandrew said something extremely stupid in Weapon Wheel Discord earlier today.
What'd he say?
He said that he doesn't condone game sharing either. On top of emulation.
I've gotten on BG and Jack Move when it pertains to.
I don't condone game sharing either.
What's wrong with game sharing? Like, explain it to me.
Stop being broke.
Wait, Bond. Game sharing doesn't mean you're broke. It just means you're being smart with your money.
Okay. So if you work the job, would you accept salary sharing?
Salary sharing.
What? Hold on, Bond.
We salary sharing on this podcast.
Earning.
What do you mean
salary?
Money?
That's earning money.
Would you
not what
accept
you're paying.
salary sharing?
No, because that's me earning money.
Okay, so that's you earning money. And how do these developers make money?
Well then we should blame Sony. We should hold on. We should blame Sony. They're the ones that allow us to do this. They literally have it to where you can do this.
So are you claiming that I'm stealing from them if I game share?
The world
My thing
also
is
allows you to pirate and steal, but that doesn't mean you need to do it.
My thing is hold on. Let me make my point. We were talking about games like Kenna, games like Returnal, games like Hades. We were talking about a lot of games that came to the PlayStation that Jack and BG, which you could consider to be niche games as well, that Jack and BG were also going on this whole tirade about how the PlayStation Nation won't show up for Returnal, how they're already making excuses, but they themselves are only buying one copy of the game and sharing it between themselves.
Me and BG bought like 6 copies of that game, though.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand what is wrong with this.
If you want to share NBA 2K, nobody's gonna care.
Let me address.
I
that.
bought Blaze 4K a copy of that game, full price.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? The thing about me and Jack, while we're such good game share partners, bro, when it comes to
game share partners.
No, listen, when it comes to buying these games, bro, we buy these games. Like Jack always buys like the most expensive edition. He always buys somebody else a copy. Like Jack, you bought Kana, right? You bought Kana. And here's the thing. Jack bought Kana. After I bought it, just because I wanted to support that developer, I bought the game again. I didn't even have to. I bought it on my own account when we already game share partners. Me and Jack, when it comes to actually supporting these games that we think are good, we put out the money. So I'm just saying.
Facts.
So Blandrew, are you against used games too?
As far as what?
Period. Just existing used games. Like, would you advocate for that system that Xbox was trying to do when they launched the Xbox One?
No. And the reason I don't advocate for that is because the Xbox One no longer becomes a good legacy console. As for me personally, I can't remember the last time I bought a modern game used. The only used games I buy are like DS, Game Boy Advance, or something like that.
So you're saying nobody should buy used games, though? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I don't understand why you're acting so dumb about this point. The point is very clear. Everybody
It's a
keeps
stupid
crying.
point.
No, everybody keeps crying and complaining that the industry is cookie cutter. The industry is turning into Ubisoft. The
No
industry
innovation
always
and-
recycles the whole thing. And then when games come out that need to be supported, they don't get supported. And then we go back to cookie cutter shit, and y'all keep complaining again. Bottom line is, if you want change, just like I always say with booty boxes, put your fucking money where your mouth is.
Metroid is hold on, let me say this. Metroid is a game that has been asked for generations. And I'm seeing the most disgusting things on Twitter right now of people promoting piracy and stealing that game when Metroid needs as much sales as it can to maintain relevancy and survive and have Nintendo look at that game and be like, okay, there is an audience for this. There is a future where we can make Metroid games and have them be successful. But you guys just see, oh man, I don't want to support that game. Let me steal it. That's not going to do anything. It's just one sale. Why does Nintendo care? That's the problem I have.
All right, we hear cartoons in the background.
19 years.
Yeah, I'm dealing with my daughter, sorry.
19 years I had to wait for this game to come out. And it comes out, and you broke ass niggas pirating it and stealing it.
Yeah.
But that don't have nothing to do with what I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
claim I don't
if
like
you-
the pirating and the stealing, but I don't think game sharing there's a problem with
Yeah,
that.
game
'Cause
sharing
Sony-
has nothing to do with
Okay,
privacy.
So let me say this real fast. Hardhead, I'm on your side with this. If Sony allows it, that means it's fine to be able to do it. Now, what Bond is saying is, okay, let's say Bond is going to buy like a new pair of shoes. Like that's what he's got his mindset on. He goes into the store to buy it, and he sees that it's 50% off. Is Bond all of a sudden just going to be like, you know what? I ain't buying it because that's not fully supporting the people that sell these shoes? Or are you just going to go ahead and buy it? You're not broke.
50% off is different from sharing it and not paying.
Hold on.
for it.
how is it? How is that different?
Let me-
If my friend, hold on,
sell you
Bond.
something
If my friend buys a game that's $60 and then I buy a separate game that's $60, you're getting two games that are $120 for half the price.
Bro, you can't just look at a 50% mark off and distribute it like that. First of all, that's not how business works. You have to understand, why is it 50% off? Have they already hit their threshold? Has the game already been on the market? Have they already made most of their market? You don't give a fuck.
But Bond, you have to
I don't really care about
understand.
any of that.
You have to understand that the people that are game sharing are sharing digital copies. It costs them nothing to put the game on a store.
Bro, it doesn't matter. You still have to pay for digital copies.
We're paying for the game. What are you talking about?
The whole point is, again, you're complaining about the industry being stagnant, but yet you're not supporting products that you want more of.
What's more support than that? If I bought two consoles, you want me to buy two copies of the game too?
I'm not going to argue with how you spend your money. You just know the end result of what you're doing.
Hey,
That's all.
I do have a question. So I have a 6-year-old son, and he's been gaming pretty consistently now. If I buy a game to play it, and then I play through it and I beat it, but then he wants to come play it after me, and he's playing it, and he plays through the whole thing, we still only pay for it once.
How old is he?
Hold on.
How old is
he? He's 6.
How old is he?
6.
Okay, a 6-year-old can't fucking work. End
Hold
of
on.
discussion.
He can mow the grass.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
He can't pull no damn
Hold on.
lawnmower.
So this is, hold on.
heavier
So
than
this
him.
is
Hey,
two
you ain't
people
wrong
that's
about that.
hold on. This is two people that are playing through the game completely. So what's the difference between one person buying it and the other person playing
Because
it?
your
through the whole
6-year-old
thing?
son's a child and he can't work. You comparing grown-ass
right.
men to a 6-year-old.
This is
I hear what
ridiculous.
you're
I got a
saying.
question though. All right, what about the people that don't buy games until they like half off, but now that they game share, they buy all their games day one? I feel like that's helping.
All I'm
That's
saying is, if
That's a
y'all
good
want to
point.
act broke, just reap the consequence. It's your money. You can do
You
whatever
know
you
what?
want. I'm not.
Hey,
I
but
would
answer
actually-
Jack, is
I
there a
don't-
problem with that? If we're buying our games day one because we don't have to buy two copies.
Just keep acting broke.
And actually, I don't mind. Actually, I don't mind acting
About
broke.
that.
I don't mind acting broke when I'm not really broke. That's kind of nice. Like,
Wait,
trust me,
I'm really broke. Fuck all that. I'm really
It's a
broke.
funny thing
Fuck
though.
that.
You're in here defending being broke.
wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Bond,
exactly.
ever-
You
I-
came
no, no,
onto
no,
this
have-
podcast.
Bond, this is you. This is
Defend
you.
yourself.
Bond's the kind of guy that's going to walk around with the gold chain but not have any money in his bank account. I'm going to walk around with a white
I
T-shirt.
got plenty of
Ooh,
money in my
ooh,
bank account, dog.
I'm just
I
saying.
got
I'm just
plenty of
saying.
money in my bank account.
I'm just
We
saying,
can
I
show
don't have to-
receipts right now
I don't-
if you want.
I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
saying,
Let's see
I
that.
don't
Let's
have
see
to
that.
be. I don't have to be the person
I'll
that.
put
I don't have to be the
Dumars on
person
you
that.
right now.
I don't have to be the person that shows off my money to know I have money.
Of course,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
you up here acting broke and defending broke tendencies.
That's
Yeah,
just,
real
hey,
quick, broke
if you
tendencies,
call,
like-
if you call, if you call
It's-
being smart, no, Bond. If you call being smart with money broke, then okay.
How is it smart?
Because I'm
not
getting 2 games for the
No,
price of
that's
one.
not the argument.
How
How is
I
it
sorry,
don't
smart?
care. I don't care
was
about what's
smart. Okay, you don't care about these games.
I feel like it's too
saying.
Man, that's not a broke move. Like I don't think you understand. That's not a broke move. You're reaching right there. That's not a broke move at all.
I would love to have an F-Zero. I would love to have
Yep.
more
Golden
Advanced
Sun
Wars.
and all that stuff.
And me not buying two copies of a game stops you from getting that.
One of the things I always complain about Nintendo is, and I've always said it a lot, Nintendo doesn't make games for me anymore. Why? Because the mainstream audience wants a different kind of Nintendo game. They want the Splatoons. They want that. Cool, fine. But the problem is, and here's the biggest issue, the old heads that like these games, like the F-Zeros, the Metroids, all that stuff, that don't have mainstream appeal, when they come out, y'all motherfuckers steal them.
Hold on. This is
two different conversations.
Oh, that's the main conversation. That's the one I've always said.
Hold on. Game sharing is technically not stealing, but I feel like pirating the game that's readily available, that's definitely stealing the game.
Actually,
that's
Jack,
two different situations.
Look, my argument is only this: support what you like with your money. Period.
Thank you.
I agree.
Bond, let me say one more thing and I'll drop it. Okay, Bond. I was not going to buy Deathloop. Like, I just didn't care for the game. And that's fine to not pay for a game that you're not interested in, right? At least not enough to be able to pay for it. I was interested in Far Cry 6. So what happened? My game share partner, he bought Deathloop. I was not going to play that at all. I was not going to pay my own money for it. But he bought it, so I downloaded it, and I did play it. He was going to play Far Cry 6, and I was interested in that. So I was only going to pay for one of the games anyway. So is that me not supporting?
It's just you acting broke. That's all
Hey,
it is.
Yo, bro, you gotta stop it, man.
What your thoughts? Y'all literally in the gaming thrift stores and shit. Like, oh well,
he said he wasn't gonna buy the game anyway.
Yeah. Bond.
You know what the funny thing about this is? You know what
What's
the
up,
funny thing
Bond?
about this conversation is?
What's
when
up?
I bought Xenoblade Chronicles X and Breath of the Wild, and I borrowed my friend's Wii U, did these niggas not all come in? Oh my god, I can't believe you're borrowing a console to play a game. But
What's
now
yours?
niggas on their game share.
Wait, so now you flipping? So you literally saying you flipping on something? You did a broke move back in the day. That's what you telling us right now. You was a broke nigga. You was a straight up broke nigga.
I bought the games.
No.
You used somebody else's console, so you a broke nigga. You was doing broke moves.
Listen.
What I'm saying is, it's funny.
Hold up,
y'all
Shokyo.
were all on me back then for that.
No.
But now y'all on this.
Shokyo,
It was something you did back then, and it was a broke move.
Hardhead. Hold up.
Hold up.
Shokyo, what's going on?
I have to defend Bond here. I will never clown anyone for not wanting to buy a Wii U.
Oh my god.
That console was not worth the purchase.
Okay, just real fast. So if you are not interested in the game at all, but your friend buys it, and you can just try it out and play it, but you were not going to buy it in the first place, that's all of a sudden broke?
Bro, if I'm not interested in a game, I'm not playing it.
Just don't play it.
Exactly.
Hold on. What I'm saying is not interested enough to like buy it with my own money. I can't just try it out. Isn't that what demos are for?
Was there a demo?
It could be
kinda.
considered like a demo to try it out because I'm trying it
That's
out.
the closest thing you're gonna get to one in 2021.
Yeah, like you're trying it out for free.
There's many avenues. There's many avenues you can look
spend
for
your
to
money.
see. Hold on. There's many avenues you can look for to see like whether or not a game was for you. At this point, you
What
can
if
just
you
look
want-
at a trailer. There's multiple reviews that come out. You
that's
can
not
do
true.
whatever you
I mean,
need
if you
to
look
see
at
if you want to play this game or
Deathloop,
not.
What if you want to find out for yourself?
Deathloop had
Like
Deathloop
PG
had
said,
all,
you're old enough to know what you like and don't like by now. You don't need to even try it.
So
You've been
Deathloop
around
had
gaming long
all-
enough to know.
Deathloop was considered a masterpiece. Then when you try out that game, you see the ass crap, you see the gameplay was boring. But if you just go by reviews and outlets, you have to literally play it and see it for yourself.
Let's just look at your eyes. Hold on. Let's just look.
Jaffe said he want to come in.
Let me get out of here. Just know Blind was a broke nigga and Blandrew just be tripping. So,
All right, later, hardhead.
Let me get out of here. Y'all
Keep
good.
sharing
though.
with the broke ass.
All
We
right,
gotta
how we
wait
going?
19 years because y'all acting broke. We're gonna have to wait another 20 years because y'all acting broke.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on.
I truly do
Oh,
wish the
boy.
best for Metroid, but you guys.
But like I said, if y'all were game sharing like 2K and Madden, ain't nobody gonna care. But you should not be game sharing games like Kenya, Returnal, Metroid. Kana, whatever it's called.
Okay.
I
Go
think
share
I think
Ubisoft game.
Metroid has
Garbage.
bigger problems than just piracy, though.
I don't understand people in the chat saying it's the same thing, but when you game share, money is still being received by the people making the game. But if you just pirate it, they not getting shit.
I don't
feel like
agree with that
I feel like
either.
that's a different. I feel
Well,
like that's a different.
there's definitely levels to this. I agree, but I'm saying these people complain so much about the industry is stagnant, and yet they don't support
Okay, so
what
you're
they
just
want.
saying the people that complain. I've never complained about the industry because I don't
It's
really
like
care.
it's like yo, the people were complaining that they'd be like people complaining that WWE is stagnant. Okay, you have an alternative AEW, but you're gonna pirate their pay-per-views.
I only complain about that like with games that I buy though, that I buy and support. If them bitches don't sell, hey, that ain't on me. I did my part. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else can I do?
You have no right to complain about a game not getting a sequel if you didn't support it.
Yeah. Okay, so
nobody's.
The bottom line is that game sharing essentially has a similar effect to piracy, given that one person is not purchasing the game but still playing it. But there is a moral difference. So it's like the same effect, but it's coming from two different types of places.
That's true.
But
And you know what?
But like what Bond is saying, with that being said, if you do like the game, you want to see more games like that, you should go ahead and go out and purchase it yourself.
What if I just purchased it myself used?
If you care that much.
But somebody brought up a good point though. Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation all promote game sharing. This ain't see, they tell you to do the shit.
But you can
and they allow
abuse
you to do
anything.
And that's
Game
why it's
sharing
okay
really is for
because
the
that's an
people in your
official way to
house.
let you do it.
Yeah, there was an article that came out from an indie developer whose game got beaten in like an hour or two, and he basically went broke over it because everybody was refunding it after completing it, and they loved it too.
Yeah, I don't do that.
So
I think
you can have like good policies, but they can easily become corrupted by
I
the
think
mind
game sharing is meant for your close friends or your direct family. I think that's who that's meant for. But if
All
you
right,
just randomly sharing it with niggas you met online, like a dozen niggas game sharing off your one shit, yeah, that's crazy. Ain't nobody doing that.
So real quick, things are going crazy. So people hitting me up, they want to respond to Bond and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but Jaffe is already hitting me up. Jaffe about to come in here.
Tell them they can make a video
After
if they want to
dark.
respond.
Yeah, y'all
Come on after dark.
Yeah, come on after dark, or
Y'all
respond
can make
to
a video.
or
Go
respond
back
to
to
Bond later.
2009, make a response video. Do what you
Yeah, because
gotta do.
there's already too much going on right now. Because Jaffe about to come in here and tell us his credentials and what he's done lately. Because oh my god!
And to end this real quick, like I said, I don't care how anybody spends their money. It's just if you want to see more of a product, that product needs to be supported.
You goddamn right. Shut up. I saw your fucking tweet. You don't go 5 fucking minutes without saying God of War. Look, and I'm live streaming right now my show, and I got people saying the Weapon Wheel podcast is saying Jaffe has, and I'm high as a goddamn kite right now. Let's be clear. He's saying Jaffe hadn't done shit in a long time. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, A, what the fuck have you ever done? That's A. My games will live on after all of us are fucking dead.
I know
That's
how to
number
cash a
one.
check.
What's that?
I know how to cash a check.
Yeah, I do too. I learned that when I was 12. Who gives a shit?
Okay, cool.
We all know how to
Okay,
cash a
go
check.
ahead.
Who cashes checks anymore? You don't have direct deposit?
It's a metaphor.
It's a dumb one.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, Jaffe.
Right now.
So Jaffe. So go ahead and tell us. What are your achievements recently that we should care about as consumers? Go ahead. I'm intrigued.
Well, shut the fuck up and I'll tell you. But when you say consumers,
Go ahead, BG like that, Jaffe. What's wrong with you? Go ahead.
I got a picture of a little boy crapping on my Twitter that he put up, sitting at a desk with his veins popping, going, Jaffe can't go 5 minutes without talking about God of War. What's wrong with me? I'm calling to respond. But okay, so when you say why should you care as consumers, my first question is consumers of what?
Well, video games.
Well, okay. Number one, I don't really care if you care, but number two, I do a show, I do videos, I do a podcast. People who seem to like it seem to come to it because they value my insight into the industry based on having worked in it and been very successful in it for 20-something years.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to value my ability to communicate, my open-mindedness, and my genuineness. So if you are saying, why should you consume my current product, which is sort of streams and Twitches and whatnot, that would be why. Is that what you were asking?
Here's what I was saying. we
Oh,
feel.
okay,
Well, I feel. Let me
give
not
it
speak to nobody else.
Give
I
it
feel
another shot. Yeah.
I feel like you ride your achievements from like 20 some odd years ago, whenever it was.
Explain to me. Explain to me how.
Bruh, like Jaffe,
Don't
everything
bruh
you
me.
do,
Explain.
everything you do, you mention.
You don't back down from this dude, man. Get that man,
listen,
Jaffe.
Jaffe, here's what I feel with you. I feel like if you walk into a restaurant and there's a line, I feel like you would tell niggas you made God of War just to get to the front of the line. And motherfuckers would be like, okay, what the fuck?
You can feel that way, but I can assure you I've never behaved that way in my life. Even back when I was a big shot in the industry, which I'm more than, I got out of the industry on my own. There's a lot of folks that say that sort of spin this narrative that I somehow was removed from the industry. I literally I still work in the industry, by the way. I mean, I still get paid to work with movie games right now, but that's just because it's sort of a part-time thing I do and I like those guys. But I turned down a directing job about 6 months ago. But
really?
Yeah, really, because it was for money from China and I'm not going to work with that shit. Okay. But that said, though, or from the Chinese government, but that said, though, are you asking what, I have never behaved that way, even when I was sort of one of the most well-known game designers on the planet. I don't give a fuck about that. I walked away from the industry because I wasn't connected with the audience as much as I used to be. I didn't enjoy it as much as I used to do. And now I'm loving what I'm doing now. So are you asking?
What's something that you've made recently that we should care about as consumers of video games? That's my point.
You ain't see that last video he uploaded? That was an amazing video. Go ahead, Jaffe.
I heard everything, and then I heard somebody else speak, and I don't know what he was saying.
All I'm saying is, as we are consumers of video games, and I'm saying, what's something you have made? Okay, and my point is, what's something you have made that we should care about as consumers of video games?
He's asking, what have you done for him lately, basically?
Yes, what have you done for us lately?
As what? So the only thing I've created in the last 3 years are my streams and my videos, right? So, and I've told you why the people who come and spend money and spend time with me on those think it is of value. Now,
I'm glad they do.
Well, yeah, I am too. I assume people who come watch your shit feel the same way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're talking about that content, I've already answered that. It's insight based on actually having connections and knowledge and firsthand knowledge of creating in that world. It's genuineness, it's connection, and it's open-mindedness, right? So that's why they should care. If they care about those things, they should listen to what I'm doing and see if they like it. I'm not quite sure where the question's coming from. Are you? Because it sounds like you can't tell me you're so moronic that what you're really trying to frame is a question that says, Jaffe, you haven't made a great hit game in a long time, according to me, and thus why should I listen to you about video games? Because if you're actually asking that question, my follow-up question to you would be, you ain't never made shit. You've never made a video game. Why is anybody listening to you?
I'm not a video game developer. I'm not supposed to make them. You were.
I was, and now I'm not. Now I do this. When I was a video...
So all my point is, as a video game developer, you are completely irrelevant to us.
I am not a video game developer anymore. However,
he's a content creator.
So you're irrelevant to us.
You're in our arena now, Jaffe.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
I do not care about your accomplishments outside of video game development. And your accomplishments in video game development were 20 years ago. So therefore you are irrelevant to me. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't care if I'm irrelevant to you. Who the fuck are you?
But you came in here and wanted to address it. I just said it on Twitter.
Yeah, because you're talking shit. So I came in.
You talk shit on Weapon Wheel all the time.
Wait, Jaffe.
I have never talked shit about Weapon Wheel.
Jaffe.
Get the tape.
Run the tape. Find the tape. I guarantee you.
Jaffe, let me ask you something real quick.
Said there. 1 second. I said there was really weird communication when you had me on your show, and thus I backed out of that show because I was like, I thought this was going to be some kind of one-on-one interview or something, and you guys were talking about Control, and I'm like, I haven't played Control. That's the only thing I've ever said bad about Weapon Wheel.
I'm pretty sure I never posed it as an interview.
Jaffe, let me ask you something, right?
And go ahead.
What's really going on here? Because I don't believe for a second that this is a you were hoping for a one-on-one discussion or something with Weapon Wheel or something like that. I truly think there was.
Wait. Are you talking about what I was referring to from a year ago? Or are you talking about right now?
No, because like even randomly, like it'll be some random stream. He'll be like, hey, like we'll get random like comments from people. Be like, yo, man, he's still talking trash about Weapon Wheel and saying this and that. Like, well, what's going on, Jaffe?
Show me what I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy to talk about it.
When you was on Zaire podcast, you made a comment like, "Oh, I thought I was on Weapon Wheel right now." Some shit like that.
And you've done that multiple times in the past as well.
There is absolutely nothing I will backtrack from. If I've said it, I've said it. But you need to give me specifics.
I just told you.
We ain't saying this shit about your
Wait a minute.
Right now, what's up?
Wait a minute. I got to respond. You didn't just tell me. You told me the follow-up or the punchline. I think I'm on Weapon Wheel, but what came before?
I don't know the conversation. I just know.
Well, okay, then I can't. Okay, but there's a great.
You did say that though, correct?
It would not surprise me if I said that. But did what come before that? Me telling Z, it's like, dude, I don't know why you had me on the show. I feel like I'm.
Zaire.
He was saying it was on Next Gen 720.
Yeah. Zaire.
Right. So I'm like going, what was I responding in that way because Z was talking about something? I'm like, why am I on this show? Or was I trying to take the piss? I don't know what the context was, but I'm not going to walk that back.
I think somebody had made like a joke. I think
it's not the first time though. That wasn't the first time. You've mentioned Weapon Wheel several times.
Well, okay, and that we can talk about, but all I'm asking you to do, if you want to bring that up like it's some kind of, evidence of some such, I need some details. You're not saying, Jaffe, you went on this guy's podcast and you said you hate everybody on the Weapon Wheel and you wish they died. I'm like, oh, let's talk about that. But I don't know what you're specifically referring to.
I don't have them saved because when you say it, people run to me. They pretty much run to me. They say, hey, Jaffe talking about Weapon Wheel again. I'm like, okay, let him do that. He's a content creator now. He needs something to do. He hasn't made a game in a while.
I remember one of the clips.
Gassing you, BG.
One of the clips you were like, I was on this awful podcast or something. I don't remember the exact context of how you got there, but I do remember that quote 100%.
All I said about that is what I already said a couple of minutes ago, which was basically that I thought it was a very different thing, and I'm just sitting there. And usually when you invite somebody on your show, and look, I've never watched Weapon Wheel until that day. So I didn't know. I assumed it was like any other invite. I didn't necessarily mean it's got to be, now we're going to shine a light and be all over David Jaffe, and it's about that, and my ego is hurt. It was more, you can go back and watch the show. I was on there for about 40 minutes, and you guys were talking, I think, for a while about Xbox because they hadn't announced specs or something like that. And then it got to Control. And it wasn't like the host, whoever the host of that show is, was going, okay, we have this guest on and we brought him on for a reason because he has experience with XYZ. Let's talk to Jaffe.
No,
Jaffe,
we did.
Well, you didn't go back and show.
We
brought you on
the podcast
and treated you like a regular person to see what your thoughts are.
Let me answer that.
You have an issue. I've heard you say this before. You have an issue that you think I'm pushing back because I wasn't treated special.
No.
I don't mean that. What I mean is, for example, I have a woman coming on my stream in October, and her claim to fame is she basically corresponds with serial killers in jail, and they respond to her, right? And so she's basically has BTK letters, she has Charles Manson letters. I'm not going to have her on and then play Control and be upset because she's like, why did you have me on your show? I thought
Jaffe,
you wanted to talk about serial killers.
Let me talk to you because I don't know if you're smoking some type of synthetic weed right now and you can't remember. But we did have you.
Right now. He on that K2.
We did have you on the podcast for a specific reason. You called Move a dummy because he was complaining about PlayStation games going to the PC and stuff like that. Yeah, moron.
You called me a moron. The dude that made my favorite game series called me a goddamn moron. You offended me that day, Jaffe.
You are a goddamn moron. You are a goddamn moron if you think that's a bad move for Sony.
Okay,
all that
but look though. I understand what you're saying, but look though, you also a moron if you came on a gaming podcast and got upset when we was talking about gaming topics. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What's going on, baby?
And that's where I bring up the what have you done for me lately? Because I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not bringing you on this podcast to talk about anything like about you because you haven't done nothing. So it's about the topics.
And that's great, but I need to understand. Look, you guys bring up Weapon Wheel podcast like it's the fucking Oprah show. I don't know what your fucking show is. I don't know what your format is.
We popping right now. We popping. Just know that.
You got it, Jaffe.
The video description.
I remember the DM of sending
you. Say it was on the video description.
Look at it right now. Far Cry 6. They're always.
I don't watch your fucking show. I literally got a fucking Discord
to watch.
Are you pulling a Drone Crusher quote?
Did you what?
I don't watch your shit.
I don't need to
watch to read them. What are they talking about?
Why would I ever see that though? I don't watch the show. I'm not watching your show now.
Hold on. Let me ask this. So you had never done like a traditional gaming podcast up until that point? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Because like
I had done ones where it had been, hey Jaffe, like so for example, I have a guy tomorrow who does some kind of funny content, and he's like, Jaffe, can you come on my podcast tomorrow, right? The guy's name is, he's been on my show. I forget his name. But he's going to come on the show, or I'm going to come on his show. Well, I'm assuming because he invited me, he's going to have like hey, Jaffe, we wanted to talk to you today about XYZ. And then at the end of that, if he's like, Jaffe, now's the part where we just talk about video game news, I've either prepared you for that. I've given you a list of things. Like when I was on Weekend Confirmed and stuff, they said, all right, here are the 3 things we're going to be talking about this week, which had nothing to do with me, but I knew that was their format and we prepared for it. Or it's like, hey, Jaffe, we've already dealt with what you want to deal with or for you because we were bringing you on Weapon Wheel to talk about Kid Smoove being a moron. And now that that's done, we're going to shift to the news. Do you want to hang out and talk to us?
I mean,
nothing. So your issue here and my issue here is not that I didn't want to be treated like a quote regular person, whatever the fuck that means. The issue was that you have a really hard time explaining to the guests that you've booked what their job is going to be. And so it was bad communication.
I disagree because we've had several people on this, like several people we actually interviewed, and they were very clear it was an interview.
I see the disconnect.
You've been the only person that was confused about this.
Hold on,
because
I remember this podcast. I remember.
Okay, fine. So the only thing so great. So I was confused by it. What do I care? I was confused by it, and it was. So I got bored and I left. That's the only thing I've ever said. If I've ever said something like, "Oh my God, I sound like I'm on Weapon Wheel," it's the same kind of sort of stupid, silly jokes that we all do online.
Yeah,
but I don't genuinely have a problem with you guys unless you're literally having a problem with me. Then I can create one.
No, these guys love you, Jaffe. I'm trying to tell you.
I see the issue, BG. I think what happened was I do remember because when BG have guests, he usually do say, "All right, we finna start talking about news topics. You can leave if you want. You can stick around." I think he did do that, but I think the problem is you didn't send him the topics we was talking about after that. I think that's where the confusion is coming from. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I like I said, I've been on podcasts and shows before where they're like, "Hey, these are our topics," and I'm like, "Cool." I'd love,
I'm pretty sure I did in the DM prior to the show, but listen, I don't want no beef. I heard you say you know with PlayStation, you know where the bodies are buried at PlayStation, so I know you that guy with the smoke.
Why was that so bad that I said that? People seem really upset that I said.
No. Listen. No, I'm not upset about it. It's just that you serious about your shit. So like, I'm not gonna mess with a guy who know where the bodies are buried. That's what I'm saying.
We all know where various bodies are buried, and I also said that I said that because I was emotional and I would never actually reveal those things, and I wouldn't.
So you're serious?
What?
You're serious
about what?
Bodies.
You know about the PlayStation secrets.
I'm serious about the metaphor of bodies. I don't actually know where people have been murdered and hidden in concrete.
I thought we had a scoop here. Okay.
No. Well, no, not that kind of scoop.
Do you have any information that you could possibly blackmail somebody from PlayStation? I'm just curious.
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
Damn.
Let's
get to disclose.
Right here on Weapon Wheel Podcast, episode 300. David Jaffe is about to disclose the secrets he knows of somebody at PlayStation.
No, I never said. I would never say that. I would never say that because they're not my secrets to reveal. It's not like I know someone who did something illegal and I'm refusing to go to the cops for political reasons. But I absolutely know things that could be very damaging. But, you know, I'm not saying that as a threat. I'm just saying that as, you know, when I did that video, I said, I even bookended it. I said, I'm going to talk practically at first, and then I'm going to talk emotionally. And when I was done talking emotionally, which is where all that was, I said, okay, now I'm back to practical. I would never actually do those things, but that's how sad and mad and upset I am about this.
Okay, so Jaffe, I don't got no real issues with you. It was just that you know you sent a few shots our way. I got to send some back. That's all it really is. I got to send some shots back.
And I respect that, and I think one day you guys will be big enough that you can afford to hire a booker. Who's
he got jokes. Okay.
God damn
cool.
right. Why don't you smoke pot with me right now? Let's go.
I've actually never smoked in my life.
What you trying to get into? Wait a minute, what's going on?
I've never smoked in my life, actually.
You've never smoked in your life? That's
never
a bad move. Why not?
I'm more of a wine drinker.
Why?
Yeah, I'm more of a wine drinker, sir.
But I've had wine before.
Yeah.
Why haven't you had pot before?
I just don't like the concept of inhaling, some type of substance that goes in my lungs. I don't know, that part of it just bothers me.
Where do you live? What part of the world?
I'm in New York.
Is it legal? Just go get an edible.
I've had edibles. Like I don't see that's the thing. I don't have a problem with
DJ,
like
you do you.
I have
Don't-
a problem
don't give in to
with how you consume it. Edibles I've definitely taken. I've
Jaffe, this is not a platform for you to push some type of drug propaganda. What's wrong with you?
It's not propaganda. I'm pushing back against the man, the patriarchy, big pharma.
I've been high on this podcast before through edibles. I just don't like to smoke.
Goddamn right. You goddamn right.
What does the patriarchy have to do with edibles and weed and drugs?
It has to do with big pharma, which is mostly controlled by a bunch of old white men. That basically, if look, there is no reason on God's green earth that every state in this fucking union should not have something like marijuana legalized.
So, here's my question. Why do we have to call it the patriarchy? Why can't we just call it what it is? Old white men.
Because that's what the patriarchy means.
No, that's not what patriarchy means.
That is, yes, but that's what I didn't say. That's
patriarchy exists in Japan, all across the world. Why can't we just call it?
All right, that's going off the rails. I got a question. I got a question. I got a real question for Jaffe before he decides to dip out. Whenever you want to dip out, is up to you. I'm going
to dip out in just a second. So get
okay.
Get
Well, I want you to answer a question first.
Licks in, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I want you to answer a question. I want you to go deeper into how you feel about this Twisted Metal situation. It's rumored to be made by Lucid, right? And
you're talking about the game, not the show. Okay.
Well, and I've heard you're consulting on the show. True or false?
Not true. I've had conversations with them, and I talked to them 2 weeks ago, but I'm not a consultant. No.
Okay.
Did they hit you up at least, or what?
Yeah, they've been great. They've hit me up, and they've called me when big things happen. So yeah, I have zero problem with that. I've made it clear to them that I'm there. If they need me, they probably don't, because they've got some incredibly talented people on board. I don't necessarily know if the show will work or not. But that's not because there's any issue, but because you never know if something's going to work or not. But I think there's a lot of talent on that team, and I'm looking forward to it. But I've said to them, I said, look, I don't feel the need to be involved, but if you need me, just call and I will be there with whatever I can help you with.
Real question.
Yep.
At this point, being so at this point in your career, you're a content creator, which is fine. You're no longer you've stepped away from game development. Do you,
for the most part,
do you think, being so disconnected at this point, that you would actually be able to contribute and actually help them make an amazing Twisted Metal game?
Oh, Twisted Metal. I mean, because I am working creatively on video games right now. I work with this company, Movie Games, as a consultant on their video games. So it's not like I'm not engaged with the industry at all. However, no, I do not think so. I think I said this earlier on my own stream. I think that Twisted Metal as a piece of lore and fiction and the world, I think is incredibly deep and interesting, and there's a lot of stuff that can be done with it, a lot of gold to be mined from that. But I do not think straight up vehicle combat, I just don't think has a lot more to offer. It was a hard nut to crack in 2001, and the truth of the matter is, for 90% of the audience, what they loved about Twisted Metal Black was the story and the world. There were not a lot of people. I mean, the game people say they liked, but we were already on diminishing returns back in 2001. So I think, like I said earlier on my stream, when you're talking about fidelity of motion that people were used to back then, let alone now, in terms of jumping and double jumping and strafing and lying down and kneeling and, you know, doing all the cool moves that you can do in something like, what is the remake of the Japanese game that they're coming out with, the third part coming up next month?
Next
you know,
month.
Have a little bit of Wang. The guy's name is Wang. It's funny. It's whatever. The point is, in that game, you can do all kinds of acrobatics and shit. That I think when you put somebody in a car and you're like, okay, well, you can go backwards and forwards and you can't strafe, you can only rotate. It just becomes hard to compete with other arena-based shooters. So
do you think you have the knowledge to possibly like take Twisted Metal to the next level? If, like, for example, Lucid Games wanted to bring you on, do you think you would know how to make Twisted Metal an amazing game?
As a straight car combat game?
Yes.
No, I think I would have the knowledge. If they were to say, we want to make a classic Twisted Metal game, we just want to make it free to play, I would absolutely have the knowledge, as would Scott, as would Kellen, to come on board and go, well, let me tell you what that is. You know, don't forget, you have to be able to rotate in the air, and here's how we motivate people to go from offense to defense. And you want to make sure the pickups are tuned in just such a way that you don't want to stay on offense or defense for too long because it gets boring, blah, blah, blah. But I think ultimately what you would be talking about is a game that is an old Twisted Metal game design template with a brand new next-gen coat of paint with a next-gen games as a service business model. Would that work? Probably only if you were able to come up with a bunch of interesting modes and a compelling meta, because the moment-to-moment vehicle combat idea, I think, is I would not be able to contribute to really refreshing that formula.
Let me ask you something, Jaffe. This is something me, BG, and Jack Move were debating about I believe it was like last week or 2 weeks ago. Do you think there's a market for vehicular combat games like Twisted Metal? Do you think people would show up for such a title?
No, I mean, I think you'd have your hardcore fans showing up for sure, but they're getting fewer and fewer. Like, I remember we launched Twisted Metal Black, and I think we sold, in the first week, Twisted Metal Black, we sold 50,000 copies, which was, you know, I mean, it was back in the PS2 days, so that wasn't nothing. And then the new one, 2012, I think, launched with 400,000 copies. So it was still number 1 or number 2 on the charts, but it wasn't like it was in the old days. So I think that... you know, do I think the idea of vehicles with rockets and guns will always be compelling? Yes. But do I think doing it in the same way, I think that becomes a harder sell. I think if you want to give somebody an action adventure game in the world of Twisted Metal, and part of that are vehicle combat scenarios that are designed to be compelling and unique and different, and then you move on to other things, sure, that could work. But if you're just talking, you know, a bunch of cars in an arena shooting each other, I think you're going to have a hard time competing because of the motion fidelity issue.
All right. Well, Jaffe, anytime you want to come back and tell us where the bodies are buried and, you know, detail company secrets, you know, just come on and do it right here on Weapon Wheel, man.
I will be there, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it, fellas.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. What you got planned for the rest of the day, Jaffe?
I'm gonna do my stream a little bit. We've been streaming a bit. And then I don't know. I think I'm gonna watch a horror movie with my son, and I think we're going to the dog park tonight after the sun goes down, because my dog is so big and so crazy he cannot be at the dog park when other dogs are there because he will kill them.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Let everybody know what your channel is called, Jaffe.
You can find me if you just go to YouTube and type in David Jaffe, or if you go to Twitter at David Scott Jaffe. I got to get a webpage set up, but my show's called Gabbin' and Games. Find me on YouTube. Find me on Twitter. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, go tell your fans to watch Weapon Wheel podcast since you promote.
They're listening right now.
All right,
he's been live on his channel.
All right, cool, good.
All right, see you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So, BG, what I wanted to say is this whole thing is this would be. I see
David
where
Jaffe
both of you guys
hijacking our
are
podcast.
going, but this would be like you saying Tim Duncan has nothing to offer for video games, even though he's a retired player that was good.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
He's not active in the NBA, but he definitely had huge contributions that he should be respected for.
But you could also say that the video game industry has changes a lot faster than the NBA does.
I disagree. I mean, look at the old NBA in the 90s compared to now. Everybody's shooting threes and it's soft and no handshaking and everything.
Well, I
It's a
didn't say it
different
was
league to me.
I didn't necessarily say it was better.
Well, but that's what goes to BG point too, though, because
Yeah.
a big man in
That's what I'm
Tim
saying.
a big man in Tim Duncan era wouldn't necessarily play like a big man in today's game.
Is there even a
That's what I'm
player in the
saying. I see
NBA
it
now
on
that
two
plays
different-
similar to Tim Duncan? I don't
No.
think
Oh
any
yeah,
plays
yeah. I
similar
mean,
to
it's
him.
people that play. Yeah, it's still people
I
that
mean,
play. Like
probably. I mean, no, I can't even.
At
say
a
it.
center? At a center?
I
though?
would say maybe Joker, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joker guy is a way better passer. Like I don't
Yeah.
think Tim Duncan was known for his
An
passing.
outside game too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he got a better
them
all-around game.
rainbow shots.
Well, Blandrew, the podcast got hijacked by Jaffe. You can continue. I don't
It
remember the last
should.
thing we were talking
It's
about.
been a very eventful episode, man. Shit's
Very.
Yeah,
great.
this episode's wild.
Episode
Um,
300.
Yes, sir.
Battlefield 6.
Yes, sir.
Anybody here play it?
2042. 2042.
Battlefield 6 or Far
Y'all
Cry?
never talked about Metroid, by the way.
Yeah, let's go on this Metroid talk. I get these
Okay,
Nintendo
let's talk about
guys
Metroid.
active before they go to sleep.
Yeah. In case RGT or Shokio got to get out of here, let's get the main topics out. Yeah, y'all talk about Metroid. Go ahead.
It's good. It's really fucking good. But I still don't think it's going to sell very well. Not necessarily because of the piracy or anything like that, because it's a Metroid game for Metroid fans. It does absolutely nothing to bring in a casual market, which is fine. I don't give a shit about a casual market. I have my copy of the game. I'm enjoying my copy. I beat it. I'm playing through it again whenever my Switch OLED comes in, but there's really nothing here. If you're not a fan of Metroidvanias, you're not going to be a fan of this game, for better or worse.
I disagree with that.
I like it.
Go on.
I mean, I've only played a couple hours of it. I got killed by that thing because I ran to the door and it was chilling right there off screen. That was kind of weird. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised I still haven't hit the morph ball yet. It's been a solid minute. I haven't had the morph ball. I like. It's definitely an improvement off of Return of Samus, partly because the Switch is bigger than the DS, so you're not getting carpal tunnel like you are on that tunnel robot. The slide is cool. My really only issue with the game is if you die, which I only died once, but is it me or is that load time really long?
Yeah, it's
I think so.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's super long, but it's kind of a bit
Like a
long. But
full
then,
minute.
oh, I know. I was.
I
thinking,
don't think it's been that long for me.
Yeah.
Bond, are you playing handheld or dock?
Handheld.
Are you
Oh, that's
playing
probably why.
handheld? What's good, Jazzy?
Nah, it's okay. It hasn't been a problem for me for like if I died at low level. The only problem where I notice it is if you're like moving, like teleporting, or you're actually just moving to another section of the game.
And
And
the
that's
frame
about
rate
it.
can be a little wonky at some places too.
Yes. And you'll notice it more so in the later parts of the game. But I mean, there's really a lot to like with the game because of the fact that, like, I know Jeffrey Grubb just he showed off one of the boss battles that happens a bit earlier in the game, and there's actually, if you're able to get the morph ball, a bomb, before you get into that battle, which normally you wouldn't have, but if you get it for that, there's actually like a path that you can take with the morph ball bomb, and it actually changes the boss battle up a little bit because the second form of the boss, you could then use the morph ball bomb inside of its stomach, and so it adds like another layer of gameplay. And looking at that, it just kind of made me think, well, you know, what other things are there like this? What other things did I miss? Because it's nothing that you would notice when you were playing it for the first time. It's something that you would want to go back and see again. So I feel like there's a lot of secrets like that. Like, I think it's a phenomenal game, and everyone in the chat saying, oh, you know, the game is selling really good. And it was going to sell really good at the launch because Metroid fans want this game. But you have to look at games like Xenoblade. Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Xenoblade. Basically, I have a bet with the rest of the Spawn cast that I said that this game was not going to sell 3 million copies in its first year, because no Metroid game has sold over 3 million copies. The best-selling Metroid game of all time was Metroid Prime on the GameCube. Metroid Prime on the GameCube had casual appeal because of the fact that it was a gorgeous-looking first-person game, arguably the best-looking first-person game at that time, on consoles at least. So you had that casual appeal where people would walk by and see that game and be like, holy shit, look at that game. That game looks so good, because of the fact that it was on consoles and the fact that it was, you know, the GameCube was a beast of a system. Whereas if somebody walks by and looks at Metroid Dread, it's like, oh, a 2D Metroid game. I've seen that before. And then people say, oh, the game has really high scores. Samus Returns had high scores as well. It didn't break 1 million copies on an 80 million platform system. So I just don't feel like there's enough of a Metroid crowd that exists, of a diehard Metroid crowd that exists, beyond 1.5, maybe even 2 million people. Beyond that, that's going to be the drop off for this game in terms of sales.
It needs to get 3 million. I agree, and I also agree. I don't think it will get to 3 million. I hope I'm wrong. But with all these terrorists and emulator and pirates out here, like, oh well, if it's not on PC, I can. Oh God, it's so stupid.
Yeah,
PC.
But I want to respond to that.
Go ahead, Chuck. You.
So I understand like the points made, and they're all like well thought out ideas, but I think this also kind of ignores the context of the fact that the Switch is a really healthy system for either new IPs or IPs that have been dormant and are coming back, because everything sells on the Switch.
Yeah, but I mean, look at
that has been proven.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, new Pokemon Snap, 3 games that you would think have sold really well, and they sold really well. Well, at least the Xenoblade games did in comparison to other games, but none of those games broke 3 million yet either. That's my whole point. I think, and we sort of underestimate, the power of 1 or 2 million sold. Like, that's still a very impressive number. And more than likely for most games, unless they're huge AAA titles with like 10 years behind them, like that's good enough. But I just don't see it getting beyond that because of the fact that you also don't have a big Metroid audience in Japan. The only game that ever sold well, a Metroid game in Japan, was the original on the Famicom. Everyone else since then has just been nosediving off a cliff. It's a great game. It's one of my favorite games of the year. I just don't think it's going to sell all that well. And if I'm wrong, I don't give a shit, because my end of the deal is I have to play Balan Wonderworld, which is like a running gag now on the channel. If I'm
not, wait. Is there a problem with playing Balan Wonderworld?
Yes, fuck that game.
Hold on, let's not derail.
If I'm right, I get to make one video saying I was right about Metroid Dread. If I'm wrong and Metroid Dread sells over 3 million, then I get to make a I was wrong about Metroid Dread video and then the subsequent Balan video. So from a money standpoint, I want to be wrong. I just don't think I'm going to be wrong.
So maybe it won't sell 3 million in a year. I believe it could, but maybe it won't. But I definitely think by the end of the Switch's life cycle that it will and it can.
Agree.
But for one, you said like, Xenoblade only sold like 2 million or 1. Well, honestly, Metroid is actually a way more notable franchise than Xenoblade. Xenoblade may be more relevant currently because it's newer, but as far as just the IP and how popular it is, Metroid's way bigger than Xenoblade, and Xenoblade 2 sold 2 million copies.
You think you think Samus is bigger than Shulk right now in 2021?
Absolutely.
Yes. Samus is a gaming icon. Are you serious?
I'm talking about for the mass appeal. I'm not talking about us.
Even in the genre that Xenoblade Chronicles is, it's honestly pretty impressive that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 managed to do 2 million and Fire Emblem managed to do like 3 to 5 million as well.
I was actually going to get to that. Fire Emblem was like the most niche, like known Nintendo franchise to like the core, and that sold 3 million
in its first year.
In its first year, so like how can Fire Emblem? And that's a strategy RPG.
Japan, because Fire Emblem's big in Japan. Metroid isn't.
But most of the sales it got were still here in the West.
But it still had Japanese backing. Let me see the breakdown of it, because that's actually a good point.
No, because Metroid, if you said like Metroid Prime, but even then, with how long people have been asking for Metroid Prime, I feel like that's going to break record franchise records as well. But
I don't think so.
Metroid Dread is like Nintendo fans' bread and butter. It's a 2D platformer. I don't
and you have to consider the marketing Nintendo has been putting into this title too. Since Dread was announced, Nintendo has been Dread has been all over their social media since it was announced.
I haven't seen one commercial on TV.
It's also the game to get with the Switch OLED as well. That's the game they're promoting with the OLED.
I'll give you that, but you think Metroid Dread is going to outsell Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah. Prime 4.
It depends. It depends if Prime 4 is even coming out on the Switch, honestly.
Let's just say it does. I feel like Prime 4 has a more mass appeal because
the genre.
because of the genre. And that was the case with Metroid Prime. I just don't, like I said, there's probably 1 million, 2 million of us that have been waiting for this Metroid game. And it's a fantastic fucking game. I just don't know the legs it's going to have beyond that.
I don't even think Metroid Prime has more of an appeal when it pertains to Nintendo fans. Like if you were to put that on Xbox, PC, on PlayStation, or sure, but when it pertains to Nintendo's audience, I think Metroid Dread actually has a lot more appeal than Prime.
Well, I could tell you what I've seen since Dread was announced. I have seen so many people talking about, I've never played Metroid. Where should I start? What's the order of the games? So a lot of people actually started playing Super Metroid for the first time, like ever. Like so many people, thousands of people. So you said yourself, there's 1 million, 2 million of the core Metroid fans. But I also think that there's millions of people out there that are now interested in Metroid because of that E3 presentation and just the hype that was surrounding it. Like people were screaming their asses off at that announcement. So that really got casuals or otherwise saying like, what's up with this Metroid thing?
But
you were speaking in tongues.
Was it a fake reaction like for the Sora stuff? Come on now. Come on.
No, because this is something we've been waiting for.
I was hyped about it too. Like I said, at the end of the day, if it sells over 3 million, great. I get to make 2 videos on it. I just don't know if it's going to. And if it does, that's awesome. That shows that Nintendo fans put their money where their mouth was with this game, like they should, because it's one of the best Switch games of 2021. And it could potentially be.
Is this a game of the year nominee for you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It is.
I would think. Yeah. I mean, I've missed out on some games. I've played Ratchet. I've played Resident Evil Village. I would say obviously different types of games, but I think you could put it in the conversation. The only thing that worries me is that there's such an oversaturation of Metroidvania games nowadays. And although Metroid Dread is like a great example, one of the best examples of a Metroidvania game, I feel like that's going to kind of go against it. And so I feel like you're going to see more of the AAA, graphical blockbusters as your game of the years instead of this game. This game will probably be regulated to action adventure game of the year.
That's the thing, though. I feel like we didn't get a lot of those this year. I feel like a lot of the games game of the year is going to be like really iffy. We don't have a clear.
It should be wide open, honestly.
Yeah.
And honestly, speaking to that point, kind of going back to sales, you said like there's so many Metroidvanias we've had now. I also feel like that's another reason why it'll sell well, because there's been so many indie games in between 2D Metroids that have come out that are really popular.
Hollow Knight. I mean, Hollow Knight's I would say Hollow Knight's probably the second biggest Metroidvania as far as, fan anticipation and feedback that they've gotten from that game, right up there with Metroid.
Yeah, and so people have been saying like, oh yeah, it's Metroidvania, Metroid and Castlevania spawn these types of games. So if someone really enjoyed Hollow Knight, they'd be like, oh, word, all right, I'm gonna check out the godfather of this genre, basically.
The Queen.
As long as Hollow Knight or Halo doesn't win Game of the Year, I'm cool with it.
Wait, Hollow Knight.
Psychonauts or Halo.
Oh, so you can win.
I'm about to say, did Silksong come out? I'm about to ask Bond, give me the hookup. Like,
yeah, Halo can't qualify because it comes out.
Yeah, so as long as Psychonauts doesn't win, I'm up 2 games, Smoove.
So you have Psychonauts 2 as your favorite game of the year?
I'm sorry.
No, Smoove. I think Smoove got Psychonauts as his favorite game of the year.
Yeah.
I'm highly disappointed in y'all faith right now. Highly disappointed.
Is that Baron?
Highly disappointed.
You have to have a winning record in life to come.
This is just a Nintendo clubhouse right now.
This is the most Nintendo fans we've ever had on this podcast.
I have no faith whatsoever in Metroid Dread.
Why should we have faith in when y'all are out here stealing the game?
It's just,
first of all, you need to stop using those plural words. I don't know who y'all is, but I bought the game. So,
I'm talking about your NW Nation members.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I don't know what's been going on YouTube. I have no idea who you're talking about. But I do know that this game, y'all got a prediction of low of like 3 million. I think it's going to really exceed
what we want it to hit.
I think it's going to exceed that pretty easily.
What do you think it's going to exceed?
I think he'll do the same thing as I think the same amount as Three Houses, probably about 5, around that area. Simply because there's been a lot of hype. I know people who have bought this game who really wasn't Metroid fans either because of the hype. So I don't think y'all have nothing to worry about. I think it's the best-selling game on every major retailer online right now, and it's the best-selling game on the eShop in every region. So I don't I don't think y'all have to worry about that.
When did Fire Emblem Three Houses hit 5 million?
Yeah, last I saw it hit. It was a
barely
little over 3.
A little over 3.
Wow, if Baron said it hit 5 million, it hit 5 million. Quit questioning him. Go ahead, Baron.
I thought I might have read that wrong. I've been out the loop. I've been out the loop. But
as of June 2020, it was 3 million, so it's probably not even 4 million. But that goes to show our point that Fire Emblem is a bigger franchise than Metroid, and if Fire Emblem is barely making it over 3, the chances of Metroid, a franchise in dormancy for 19 years, hitting that number is...
No. That's technically no.
automatic.
Fire Emblem isn't bigger than Metroid. That's the sales of the very last game. At that point, Fire Emblem was still niche.
Oh,
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know about that.
No, I'm saying it was only big after that game.
Yeah, Awakening.
You can't say Fire Emblem was bigger than Metroid.
Fire Emblem Awakening. I mean, look at Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS versus Samus Returns on the 3DS, sales wise.
Well, you also have to remember Samus Returns was a remake, and it came at the end of the 3DS's life.
Yeah, people weren't really looking for 3DS games. Like Ever Oasis flopped, Strange Journey flopped, a whole bunch of other games that came out pre-Switch didn't do.
Stories.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi that flopped and the studio shut down. A lot of games weren't selling at that time.
Fire Emblem Awakening didn't even hit 3 million.
Nope.
No. Three Houses is the best-selling Fire Emblem game of all time.
And that's barely over 3 million. So why are we thinking that Metroid hitting 3 million is like a shoo-in or it's automatic?
Because if Fire Emblem could hit 3 million, then Metroid can, because Metroid's way more notable.
I think
it has more of an appeal than Fire Emblem.
Life cycle-wise, no problem. I just don't think it's going to happen in the first year.
Metroid has no appeal. Metroid has no appeal in Japan. Let's just call it for what it is.
You think a top-down strategy game has more appeal than a 2D platformer on Nintendo?
In Japan?
A top-down strategy game has more appeal in Japan.
What does Japan have to do with anything?
We're talking about total sales.
Yeah.
So if nobody is buying Metroid in Japan, think about it, Blandrew. It's the Xbox effect. Why PlayStation sells more?
No. Have you seen like sales for games in Japan? Like they'll be like a game will be lucky to hit 2 million in Japan, and then the rest of the world takes over the rest of it.
Yeah, but we're talking about a game trying to hit 3 million. Awakening sold 1.5 million copies in Japan.
Yeah, when the series about to end with before Fire Emblem Awakening.
Like even the Legend of Zelda is more of a Western thing than it is a Japan thing, but that's still selling like crazy.
You can't compare Zelda to Metroid.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why not?
Because Zelda isn't Metroid, and Metroid isn't Zelda.
Yeah, but Zelda has a way heavier Western appeal, like presence, than it does in Japan.
Here's a simple way to shut everybody.
Y'all getting ridiculous now. Look, you can't.
Here's a simple way to shut down everybody and their dumb arguments up. How much you willing to put on it?
What? Well, it depends on what your bet is.
On the 3 million.
Okay, when do you expect that 3 million?
Is it 1 year or is it lifetime?
Because you don't pay shit, Baron.
When do you
I'm talking to people that actually have integrity.
Vaughn, just answer the question, man. Just answer the question.
I'm
When you
talking to Blandrew right now, Baron.
When do you expect that 3 million? I don't owe you anything.
Yeah, you do.
I think I owe you an ass whooping. That's about it. When do you expect that 3 million to hit? That's all I'm asking
You couldn't even beat up Marco's summer cheeseburgers.
Answer the question. When do you expect that 3 million to hit? That's all I'm asking you.
By the end of the Switch's life cycle.
Ooh.
The Switch's life
I'll
cycle.
take that bet.
Hey, Bond, I'll take you on that bet.
That's what I would say. But I'd be interesting to see what we're gonna see on the MPDs and everything for the first month.
I mean, it's not going to be number one. I mean, we got Riders Republic and Far Cry and stuff coming out this month, but it's not going to be number one. But it will be. You will hear about like record franchise, like you'll hear about like dollar sales, it being the fastest selling Metroid game, making the most money and stuff like that in its opening month.
I'll tell you one thing though, this game 100% sure ain't hitting 4 million.
Hey, Bond, I'll take you on that bet that Metroid Dread actually sells 3 million for $50.
That's possible, but we'll see about that. I might take that bet.
And because I feel like this whole thing is on a case-to-case basis. Some games sell and some games don't. Like, we're in a point in life where, like, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, that has already sold like 2 million. So, and that's niche as something like Pikmin that doesn't usually sell either. We got, like, Ring Fit Adventure already sold near 10 million.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that makes sense. It's
and even stuff like Splatoon, people thought that was going to fail. That's one of the top best-selling Switch games in the top 10 right now. So it's a case-by-case basis.
Splatoon. People didn't think that Splatoon would just fail. People thought Splatoon would fail because the Wii U was a fail.
Yep. And now we're already Splatoon 3, one of the biggest highlights to end a direct. So I think it's really going to sell 3 million, but all that. And plus, as we've seen as over time, the talk between like the internet, Twitter does not reflect most of the time when it comes to Nintendo games overall.
And Pikmin 3 Deluxe only sold 2 million. That's the most of any Pikmin.
Yeah, but it still sold. But I wasn't thinking that was going to sell, but it actually did. So
the other ones are all in the 1 million range.
And even stuff like Skyward Sword selling good, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze selling good on the Switch.
I would also like to point out, like, the Switch is damn near at 90 million units sold now.
Hey, the Wii was at over 100, and games still didn't sell.
But people are actively...
we know what's up with the Wii though.
Yeah, people are actively buying games for the Nintendo Switch.
80% of those sales were from fucking grandmothers and shit. So
yeah,
like
literally. All of
Nintendo's
first party like offerings this generation have had like success stories saying they've broken franchise records, and I expect the same to happen to Metroid. It will surpass 3 million easily.
Breaking the franchise record would literally be like 2 million and change.
It'll definitely sell 2 million.
Well,
Prime 1 sold 2.84 million, and that was on an install base of like what 22 mil.
But that also had that casual appeal, I feel, because of the fact
I don't think it had as much as you claim. Like it, especially considering like the controls of that game.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, but it's a game that when you looked at it, if you didn't know shit about Metroid and somebody showed you that game and somebody showed you a game like Dread at that same time frame, you're gonna gravitate towards Prime because of the fact that 3D games were finally coming of age as far as graphics were concerned, and like that was a perfect game at a perfect time. But ever since then, it's just kind of been less and less and less and less.
Because I don't know. Echoes was lame with the dual Zelda A Link to the Past things, and Prime 3 was just gimmicky with the Wiimote. It was good, but
I liked it, but
Prime 3 was fire.
But I just hope that it will reach 3 million. That's my hope. But
it will.
Nintendo fans, unfortunately, of all the other fans, have been the biggest proponents of piracy in gaming. It's been this way since the Game Boy Advance.
Proponents of piracy.
Yeah.
So why do their games sell the most out of any other?
I don't know about that
because they still sell a lot, but Nintendo fans have always been fans of the R4DS, chipping their Game Boy Advances, chipping their DSs, chipping their 3DSs.
Sales of Switch games show that they support their company.
Honestly, the thing about that
Two things
is,
can be correct, Baron. You could sell the most and still be the biggest pirates.
The most anti-pirate motherfuckers I see on Twitter are Nintendo fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like all the guys I've seen. All the guys I've seen today promoting piracy from Fratanga, Blessed, Red, they've all been PC guys. Where's this Nintendo narrative coming from?
These are the same guys that buy the Switch and make fun of PlayStation and Xbox. You all loved them then, but now you trying to discredit them now. Nah, you in bed with them terrorists. You got to take them.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
You can't just selectively say, "Oh, you see the PC gamers."
No. Like here's the thing:
PlayStation and Xbox, and then when they do shit you don't like, then you're like, "Oh, they're not part of our group."
I'm just saying, the people that you're trying to parade as "quote unquote" Nintendo fans, their main thing is PC. That's all they really preach.
No. One guy that comes in here that in the Discord that's always pirating shit. He's a Switch gamer.
He's a PC gamer.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the Nintendo fans that are like pirating, emulating all that stuff. I feel like that's more so multi-platform owners who also just like Nintendo. Like basically the people in this chat.
Now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I be
now.
Okay, yeah, they're probably multi-platform owners, but as far as like
I be in the Discord, it's definitely PC dudes.
Just call them what they are.
It's definitely PC dudes.
It's PC dudes that are closet Nintendo fans. That's what it is.
Oh my lord!
Why you say like they gay?
They
closeted Nintendo. What the fuck that mean?
So when I say Nintendo fans, I'm not talking about
Nintendo would be the first ones to pirate their games.
Well, when I say Nintendo fans, I'm not talking about people like me, people like you, Bon. I'm talking about the Wii lover and shit like that.
Me.
Those
Lover
motherfuckers.
doesn't- Yo, we Lover don't represent Nintendo. You didn't even want Operation Rainfall.
I ain't heard that name.
Talking about, he's talking about the Nintendo fans that are truly deep into the nectar of Nintendo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's the majority. That's the majority of Nintendo fans are people like
BG,
that.
You see that link in the Discord right there?
We are the minority.
See, here's the thing though. Y'all say PC gamers, but for the longest time, you don't use the PC to pirate on the DS, the 3DS, the Game Boy. You just shipped it with R4 chips and things like that. There was no PC included.
I remember on the DS, there was a device that you could have that you could play video, like you download a video from your computer and then put it on this device and then watch it on your DS, and that ended up being a way to pirate games. You would just have to have a donor cartridge, and so like it would like remove the save data from that game, but then the system would read it as a different game, and then it saved the game internally on the thing. It was cheap. It was like $30, and it was like I had one. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I walked into Walmart and I bought it because I was in my early 20s and broke as fuck. But times change.
Finally, somebody admits that at a time in life they were broke. Why is that so hard for everybody to do?
Oh yeah, Bon. We got some comments from the audience. They was like, you always talk about people being broke, but you be waiting for Smoove to buy your games. What do you say about that?
Well, here's the thing. Why do I need to buy my own games if somebody's buying them for me?
I agree.
Can't the same be said for people that game share?
That's the same thing for game share.
Yeah, the audience wants answers, Bon. What's going on?
Oh man! Because here's the thing.
Go.
I actively have to put up my own money to make money. You just
now when you bet against Smoove,
hold up.
you're gonna win.
What you basically said is, I went in the casino and won money, but I'm broke because I took the casino for a ride. That sounds stupid.
I thought you said every time you bet against Smoove, that's 100% guaranteed win.
It's 99.999. I lost one. I lost one. But the point is you can't call somebody broke for beating the casino. That sounds dumb. You still have to put money up to make money.
Yeah, I ain't about to go down this rabbit hole again.
Yeah, I'm about to say, any last thoughts about Metroid before we move on?
But before that, I remembered, who was that said they're gonna make a 6-year-old mow grass? Who said that?
That was Robbie.
I'm calling defacts right now because that's abuse.
It was just an idea.
Bon was saying that. He was messing around.
Ain't no 6-year-old should be mowing no damn grass. Like, what are we doing around here? That's child slavery. What are we doing?
Barry, you grew up in the South. You knew your grandmother sent you to hunt squirrels and stuff like that. What you talking about, boy?
I didn't grow up in the South. I don't know where you got that shit from. That's number one.
Aaron,
all right.
I'll ask you a couple quick questions. How come I haven't seen you on Dark in the last 2 months?
You didn't? You must have watched Dark on Tuesday.
Oh, no. I fast forward it every time so I can post your matches.
Oh, well, I was the first match, so that tells me that you don't watch the product.
Did you unblock Baron? I mean, did you unblock Baron?
Thanks for being a fan.
Even RGT will tell you, I've been your biggest supporter of wrestling for years, and you blocked me on some Jim Cornette bullshit.
I didn't block you on Jim Cornette bullshit.
You blocked me.
You know exactly why I blocked you, Bon.
Why you blocked me?
I promoted your matches every week, and you blocked me.
No, Bon. See this. See this. The thing.
Yes.
See this. This the thing. You know all those ball riding bitches that you have that follow you.
Look, I can't.
I understand that. You guess what? You can't control that, but you know what they do. So if you're gonna make content about me, I don't care. But when you bring other people into it, and then you try to put it off like I'm bringing that energy towards a certain person that I work with at my job, I can't have that on my timeline. You knew what you was doing. You knew what you was doing. You knew how your fan base was going to respond. So you know I can't have that on my timeline. You know I can't.
Wouldn't the smarter thing be?
I have nothing to do with it. No, I'm not blocking people. The smart thing would be for you not to do something like that. There's a million ways for you to come at me and make fun of me, which I laugh at. But the way you
literally posted the picture and laughing emojis. That's it.
You know the way you did it. You knew how your fan base was going to respond, and you know I can't have that type of energy on my timeline. That's the infinite.
The people
it's that simple.
Those are a lot of those people were Zaire's fan base. They aren't my fan base.
No,
Playing
that's
point
yours.
fingers. Oh man.
I mean, he
That-
got you in
that-
his
that-
he got you in the thumbnails and everything. I would think the thing to do would be to block the people speaking
Hey,
dumb shit and not block.
I don't
his
have time to
supporters.
block 200, 300 people. I don't have time. Maybe you, I don't have time to do that. But the thing is, you knew how your fan base was going to respond. You knew how
All right.
your people are, and you knew they was going to respond that way.
It sounds
You
like you
knew
and your
they was
feelings.
going to respond that way about a particular individual that I work with,
It
and
sounds
I
like
was
you
not
and your
going to
feelings.
have that on my timeline.
You don't gotta
I
address
didn't
yourself.
post nothing hateful.
He knows everybody understands what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
it sounds like you and your feelings.
maybe, no, why am I in my feelings?
Nah, I feel what Baron. I feel what Baron's saying.
I'm still cashing my checks. You ain't gonna stop my checks because you're gonna be.
I supported every one of your. I supported every one of your matches and posted all your matches. But
Bond,
He's saying you bought a hateful crowd.
But here's the thing: just because a bunch of people
Jack,
didn't like a
Jack, he knew exactly what he did because he was already making clips of me.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know.
Here's the explanation.
And there's no
You gotta
explanation.
fix your mic. You gotta fix your mic. Here's the thing, Jack.
There's no explanation. You was a jackass for doing that, so you had to be blocked.
All right.
Let's move on. Hey, Baron.
Let me finish this last sentence. He had the time. If I support all your matches, but people don't like somebody and give negative feedback, all of a sudden I'm the bad guy.
No.
Doing
But
that every week.
But you know how they gonna react, Bond. Don't act stupid. You know how they was gonna act.
Nah,
And then you had me tagged in it.
That's my
So
point.
Hold on.
you had to
Hold on.
go.
Wait, Baron. Hold on.
You had to go. It was just that simple.
Baron, hold on. Jack Move, you wanted to say something. We can't stay on this topic for too long.
I was just gonna say, people gonna send they hate, but they was sending a different type of. You can't have certain shit. You can't have certain shit
I'm
said,
talking about.
Yeah, you can't have certain shit said.
My two.
Yeah, you basically you can't treat Baron like he's just a YouTuber anymore. He's got goals and career moves that he's trying to make right now. So,
but again, you can't penalize people for doing the same. How come you weren't upset before when I posted matches?
Because that did not bring all the other negative energy. I did not care.
Oh, and that's my whole point. Then block the people that were giving negative energy.
All right.
You are a group
Moving on.
of
People support
You
So
know
anyways,
to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Moving on.
we gotta move on. We gotta move on.
Moving on.
Goodness.
Hey Baron, are you here? Are you available to stay for the rest of the podcast or no?
Not with that mic.
How much longer? How much longer?
Get a different mic and come back another day. Since you
No,
cashing them checks, get a better mic.
it's probably because I'm on this stupid ass phone. But
No.
how much longer you got left?
Well,
on
we
this?
gotta
Let me ask you like two
Get a better
questions real
phone.
quick. Two questions real quick. Sora ending
Yeah.
Smash. How do you think about that?
I'm okay with it. I didn't want it to be him, but I understand.
Who are
I
you
get
rooting
it.
for?
I wanted to be the Howard twins, but that was the shot in the dark. So it is what it is.
The Howard twins.
From Astro Chain.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, we tell some people don't support some. Ooh, that's bad.
I bought Astral Chain, but I didn't know their last name was Howard.
Yeah, because that's
Okay.
Era Howard.
And Grand Theft Auto coming to the Switch, the trilogy. What do you think?
Man, I played those 3 games too much. I don't feel like playing them again. I'm kind of done with the remaster stuff.
You know what? Dr. Trey, after 8 years, was right. Nintendo would be getting the definitive edition.
No, but he said GTA,
He was talking about GTA 5
though.
though. He was talking about GTA 5.
I don't think he was talking about. I don't think he was talking about Grand Theft Auto.
But it does say the
San Andreas of Vice,
That's
but
a joke.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, BG, Battlefield 2042, is this you playing on the screen right now?
Yes, indeed, it is, sir. The highly skilled gameplay you see is me.
What do you think about Battlefield 2042? Because I've been seeing a lot of people trash this game, and then a lot of other people like it. So,
oh man, it's a lot. It's a lot, right? It is buggy, obviously, and yes, there's the EA claim that this is like 3-4 months old. You can believe that if you want. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying I believe it either. That's what they claim. There's also the fact that most Battlefield betas in the past have been very buggy, but most of them have actually turned out good. Like 3 was very buggy. I remember the long neck glitch. That joint was looking wild. There was a bunch of glitches, and that turned out okay. The same thing. I think 1 had a beta that was pretty buggy, and so it turned out fine. But there's a lot of things that I have an issue with. Like, okay, reviving takes too damn long. You know, they've changed how revive works. You know, it's hard to get people to revive it
Why
in
are you
this
shooting
game.
your teammate in the back of the head, dog?
He walked in my fucking scope. What are you talking about, bud? This nigga literally walked in front of my gun. First of all, there's no goddamn whatchamacallit. There's no
Friendly
team killing.
fire,
So
good
there's
thing
no
for
friendly
you.
fire. The nigga walked in my scope and you want to blame me? What is this? Anyway, they need to fix reviving. People in Battlefield already don't want to revive, right? That's always been an issue. I mean, people in this podcast have literally gotten in arguments and fights with certain people over med packs and shit. So it's always been controversial. It's always been controversial. Now they've made it this long ass animation that nobody wants to revive ever again. So they got to fix that. What else? The map flow, they only give us one map and one mode in this beta. So it's really hard to judge the game. I can't even call this a proper beta. Like you're not really testing the game really, right? With just one mode and one map. The performance is very sketchy. Like the recommended I think specs is like a 3060, some insane shit. Like this your recommended spec is like a GPU that just came out like within the last year. That's ridiculously high, even for, you know, especially for a Battlefield game, because Battlefield games usually don't, you know, honestly don't always require like some top of the line GPU because they've optimized it well in the past. So they got to fix the performance. Like I was playing at 1080p. I can't remember the last time I had to, you know, I got a 3070 Ti. I can't remember the last time I had to put a game down to 1080p to make sure I got 120 frames. There's a lot of like small visual glitches, like you know, the reload prompt getting stuck on your screen, random flashes and your screen changing color for whatever reason. You know, objects colliding into each other, like falling into the map. The destruction in this map, once again, this is why I wish there was another map, because it's hard to. I don't know if it's the game or just this map, but like, if you shoot a grenade launcher at a wall, it won't necessarily break or destroy. You won't see no crack. You throw a grenade, it's the same thing. I remember I was literally shooting a guy through a chain link fence, and none of the bullets were penetrating the fence. Like there's holes in this fence, but you can't shoot through it. Like shit like that. It's like, and the specialists, I don't know. I'm not necessarily a fan of like how the specialists work in this game. I was reading on a Reddit that they were saying that this actually started as a Battlefield battle royale, and then midway through they changed it to just a traditional Battlefield game. I don't know if that's true, but I could see how that might be true because of how the specialists work. People are not the biggest fan of the specialists because, like, for example, in previous Battlefield games, let's say the engineer could have the repair tool. I think he could also have like some type of grenade launcher to also destroy tanks. So he could fix tanks, he can destroy tanks. Now in this game, you can't have both in whatever class that has it, right? So you kind of got to like pick and choose. People are not fans of that, you know. So I'm not really crazy about, you know, the whole specialist thing. Other than that, I mean, it plays like Battlefield, which is what I love, the Battlefield formula. But there's a lot of things they got to fix.
Okay. Anybody else here played it or no?
So
I played a little bit of it.
So
Smoove,
basically, you're saying it's not good. It's trash.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, I'm saying it's bugged.
That's basically what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it's bugged.
Okay.
So
you think this is going to be better than? You think this is going to be better than Infinite?
I prefer Battlefield's formula. Yeah.
We can get into that because Smoove, you put up a video this morning talking about why you think Halo Infinite will be the best shooter of this year compared to Call of Duty and Battlefield.
We can't really take Smoove's opinion on Battlefield serious though. Come on.
We take
Why not? Hey, for the first time, I actually agree with Smoove on that. I do.
Smoove. What Battlefield game have you played before?
I played 4. I played 5.
More than 5 hours.
You think you Saltiest Gaming questioning his credentials?
I played and I played the Battlefront games, which is just, you know, Battlefield skinned in Battle Star Wars.
What Battlefield game have you played more than 5 hours?
more than 5 hours, it would be Battlefield 4.
Why don't I believe you?
I don't know why you wouldn't. It was a launch title for the Xbox One, so
I don't like. I'm not even trying to slander Smoove. Smoove is not the opinion I'm going to take.
I'm not going to sit there and talk and say, "Oh, I'm good at Battlefield." I absolutely suck at Battlefield. This is the reason why I'm not buying it. But and it has no campaign. But I played the beta because it came courtesy of my Game Pass subscription. What
the fuck?
This not the thing is that the beta is a buggy mess. It's like this was Battlefield 2042 was supposed to be everybody's like saving grace because we all know Call of Duty is going to be trash and nobody wants to give Halo the credit, so they wanted to flock to Battlefield, but Battlefield ain't going to be it. Especially the game come out next month and the beta looking like this. That shit was trash. I got artifacting. I've got glitches. I'm seeing people flying. I'm seeing people.
Why does that? Hold on. Wait. Time out. Why does that matter, Smoove? Wait. Why does that matter?
What does it matter?
Hold on. Ain't you the dude that saw all those problems with Halo Infinite and told them not to delay it? Ain't he that dude?
What exact problems are you talking about though?
Yeah, Halo Infinite didn't have any problems. It was just ugly.
No. I'm talking about before they delayed it a year. Smoove saw everything wrong with Halo and said they have no reason to delay it. So why are these problems with Battlefield a problem?
I didn't see anything fundamentally broken about the game.
Okay.
It looked very playable.
Okay. Proceed.
All right, and so this is still about exclusively Battlefield, right? This is not like, or is it like, what am I?
I guess you can compare it to Halo Infinite and why you think that will be the better game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, when you look at the betas that we had a beta for Call of Duty, we had a beta for Battlefield, we had a beta for Halo, and to my knowledge, the Halo's beta is older than both Call of Duty and Battlefield, and it was the most playable one. Seemed very polished, and Call of Duty and Battlefield both looking spooky. And I mean, I know Battlefield got a fan base and everything, and I'm not going to argue which one's going to sell more. I think obviously it's going to be Call of Duty, and Battlefield will have his fan base. But as far as meta and just the better game and better performing game is going to be Halo easily.
Battlefield is the better game.
Why?
Because the Battlefield formula and how it plays is
they come out, because all we're doing is playing incomplete betas.
Thank you.
But, the one thing I want to say is, Baron, I thought we were getting Call of Duty on a Nintendo platform again on Switch. When's that coming?
I guess they ain't gonna do it.
And I thought we were getting mad on Switch too. When that coming?
Oh, you just trying to throw.
Bond, are you mad about something? What's going on here? What's the underlying?
We're on the topic of Call of Duty. I'm just asking.
We don't talk about Battlefield,
I can
sir.
answer that question, because I have friends that work for EA. Something happened with that. Let's just say that did have an existence, but something happened.
What happened?
Sorry, I can't tell you.
Oh,
it's not out.
You Abraham Lincoln
not
now?
out. No, I'm not. I'm not Abraham Lincoln. I said I have friends that work there, and they told me, and something happened with it. So
I believe you, Baron.
I don't.
All my point was that
trust me, I'm not happy that I can't play Madden on Switch. I'd rather have it on Switch, but
Battlefield
is what it is.
offers more than. And listen, I like Halo. Don't have me in here, slandering Halo, which I'm better than Smoove at, by the way. That's not saying much, but
that's uncalled for, BJ.
I think I'm more of an authority on Halo than Smoove, but that's neither here nor there. But I just feel like Battlefield offers much more variety of gameplay than Halo does, and that's
Okay. All right, cut the bullshit, BG. Cut the bullshit, man. Which game is gonna be better, Battlefield or Halo?
Halo.
Battlefield, sir. I said that.
You sure? Which game gonna have the higher Metacritic?
Okay. Which game will be in a better state at launch? I'll say Halo. Which game will be better in the long run? Battlefield, absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
You really think so?
Yes.
All right.
I do.
You have that much faith in EA, huh?
No, I have less faith in 343.
It's not really about EA. And here's the thing, y'all gotta stop acting like EA is the same EA from 10 years ago. Y'all gotta let that go. Okay, I'm not even here to defend EA, but they're not the same. They're not the same people.
EA 10 years ago was better.
Are they better? What the fuck? They worse. What the fuck you talking about?
EA 18 years ago came out with Dead Space 2.
Y'all gotta stop acting like EA slap y'all grandmother, bro. This y'all gotta stop this, bro.
They did. It was that level of disrespect when I bought this trash ass Madden 22.
Well, I don't play Madden, so
I see it in this damn game. It's embarrassing. It's very fucking embarrassing.
Well, outside of sports, because I don't really play Madden anymore. But I'm saying, other than EA Sports stuff, I can't really point to anything for y'all to be still mad at EA about.
What do we have to be proud about EA? Name me something that we should be proud about from EA.
I'm not saying you should be proud, but acting like y'all be acting like EA is like bringing over immigrants and like murdering their families. That's how people like talk about EA. I'm not even lying.
Industry.
I mean, Jedi Fallen Order was pretty good.
Is that EA though, or did they just publish it?
I mean, they own the developers.
Oh, okay, I guess that counts. Thought it was third party dev.
I mean, just the downfall of FIFA over the last 5 years is fucking embarrassing.
Like I don't know nothing about the sports.
Embarrassing.
Every sports game is going to have a downfall because Madden doesn't have NFL 2K, NBA 2K doesn't have Live, FIFA doesn't have Winning 11 or Pro Evolution, whatever you want to call it. There's literally only MLB The Show is the only game out there. There's literally only one game per sport now, so there's no incentive for competition.
I don't know anything about this sports stuff, like I said, but they bringing back Dead Space. This Battlefield is going to shape up well. So outside of sports, like I said, EA is doing nothing wrong right now.
Speaking of sport game, Baron, are you going to be in the new AEW game?
I have no recollection of what you're talking about right now.
You can't say yet, man.
What's the next topic, Blandrew? But Battlefield is great.
Hey, we ain't ready to these super chats, by the way. I just want to let y'all know.
Well, no, they gotta wait because we gonna get to them. It's just that we trying to hit these topics.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you that this game is going to be fucking good.
Well, yeah, it's made by the developer, the same guy of THQ, the N64 games, from what I've heard.
This game is going to be really fucking good.
Oh, the AEW game? No, yeah.
Yes. The AEW game is going to be good.
You know what?
Very
RGT
good.
know if Baron's going to be in there, but you keep that to yourself, RGT.
RGT, trust me, he don't have the info I got. I see the stuff firsthand.
He's probably a little deeper than I am, for sure.
This game is going to be fucking good. I can't wait.
Okay.
We'll all create you in the game if you're not in it, Baron.
Well, Far Cry 6 just came out October 7th.
Man, BG.
Dang, BG. It just came out this past week. It's currently sitting at a 76 on PC, 75 on PlayStation 5, and a 80, a generous 80 on the Xbox Series X.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, a lot of reviewers were coming out and saying that they felt like they played this game 3 times already, meaning that this game is exactly the same as the older ones. I'm not a Far Cry fan. I don't play these games. I'm on a strict Ubisoft ban until they make another Rayman game or Rabbids 2, but I think Robbie, Smoove, and BG, you guys have played this game, and maybe some other people on the panel. What do you guys think about it?
Well, let me go first because I haven't bought it. I played the preview. If some of you may have known that Ubisoft invited me to preview the game and play it, and I made a video, telling people my impressions.
They invited the wrong nigga.
No, they invited the absolute right nigga. Because here's the thing, right? I'm somebody, unlike Smoove, I've actually played Far Cry 3 and beat it. I've actually played Far Cry 4 and beat it. You see, Smoove is a hype beast. He didn't actually beat none of those games, so he doesn't understand where it came from. He doesn't understand, how those games were and the lack of progression since that. So he's just a little prissy little new fan. Ooh, look, open world and it's nice. He doesn't understand.
He's a new breed Far Cry fan.
Yeah, he's a hype beast. He don't get it. So somebody who's actually played the previous games, all of them, this is literally like the last 3. It lacks innovation. I believe Blandrew described it perfectly. Ubisoft makes games like a factory. It's just an assembly line, right? And when I played the preview, I made the video. I told people like, listen, this is the same shit. And I don't like to just describe stuff as that because it feels like a cop out to say something is the same thing. But that's really what it is. All Ubisoft games are homogenous. They're all the same thing. They all take place in the same universe. They do very little to evolve the game over time. They do virtually nothing, right? And there's some Far Cry, meatheads in that video, in the comment section of that video right now, mad at me because I said this is exactly the same thing. The game has no soul. They use great actors to be villains as crutches for their games. So we got I know him as Gus. I forgot his real name from Breaking Bad. We're gonna get we make great villains, and that's the highlight of our game. Great villains. The gameplay hasn't changed. Get to this radio tower. Drive this car. Ride this horse and free this outpost. Do that for 15 hours. Game done. You've liberated the people. Same story. That you were a freedom fighter. And you've overthrown the tyrant. Game done. That's it.
Was fun, but you would say the game was fun, and with Far Cry 3, maybe Far Cry 4, you enjoyed it at that point.
Yes, I would say Far Cry 3 because at that point, I would say it felt fresh. And since then they've done nothing to renew that.
Let me jump right after BG, and then I'll let Smoove go after me.
Awesome.
He's played. Smoove, you beat the game or almost?
6 I beat.
Okay, so look, I only played 5. Now, everyone talked about 3. They said 4 is okay, whatever. I've only played Far Cry 5, and I platinumed it. I loved it. I put so many hours into it, played online, all that. So for me, Far Cry 6 was like, okay, I played a pretty good game in Far Cry 5 because it was my first time playing it, and I loved the open world atmosphere, the immersion, all that. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm looking forward to the sequel because for me, it's just the sequel. Similar to how God of War came out in 2018. Everybody's looking forward to Ragnarok because it's the sequel to that, and they loved the gameplay. They thought it was awesome. So for me, I'm not tired of it. If somebody's played Far Cry since the beginning, they played 3, 4, if they played Primal, New Dawn, I think
nobody ever talks about 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't even know anything about 1. Like,
1 was amazing in college, Jack. Yeah.
See, I don't know.
It was only on PC though.
Gotcha. So for me, I'm loving it so far. I probably put about maybe 4 to 5 hours into Far Cry 6. And yes, it is more of the same that was in Far Cry 5, but for me, it's still fresh. Like I'm still really enjoying it. So I can't really speak like BG, who's put so many, time and hours, and you actually beat the previous games. You know what I mean? So but yeah, that's my feeling of it. So.
Smoove, tell us your thoughts and just remind the people which Far Cry games you've actually beaten prior.
All right, BG. BG is like literally fucking Mr. Captain Crunch, yo, for real. All this shit, yo. All right. BG's going to try to sit there and fool y'all because I didn't quote unquote roll the credits of the previous game. But the thing is, I've actually played every Far Cry game, but I think 1. And maybe 2. I don't know if it counts. One of them was Instincts, but I don't know if that's 1 or 2 or whatever. But whatever. But anyway,
you could play a game for 2 minutes and say you play it.
When I say I played them, I literally got double-digit hours in all of them. Now,
okay, let me ask you something. Then let me ask you something.
You had all these opportunities.
Let me ask you something real quick. If you've played all of these games and they're so good, why haven't you beat any of them?
I never said that they were good.
But you said you think 6 is good.
I think 6 is good. Yes.
It's the same thing.
You didn't think Far Cry 5 was good?
Oh my god.
No, all right, here's the thing about Far Cry 5, right? And don't let BG say, everything's been safe since 3, because actually Far Cry 5 was the biggest. Primal and 5 were the biggest departure from the series. So 5 is nothing like 3.
Yeah, and they don't have towers.
Yeah, because 5 is trash.
I don't know if you know that, BG. There's not necessarily like towers anymore, like per se. Like they
I use towers as just a metaphor for outposts. There's still like outposts.
Because the last one he's fucking beat, and he wants to sit there and cap, acting like he's Mr. I beat all of them. No, he's fucking over exaggerating.
Here's what Far Cry does. They change the name of the radio towers to something else. And then they act like it's not a radio tower. That's exactly what they do.
There's no radio towers at all. There's nothing.
I know, because they changed the name. It's the same thing.
No,
Proceed.
It's not. All right, bro. All right. This is the thing. I'll tell you why. Like Far Cry 5, I was interested in, but I didn't really like the concept, the whole story, the whole cult fucking religious shit. It kind of threw me off, and I got bored. And the thing is, one of the things that threw me off about Far Cry 5, I think one of the missions required me to fly, and I suck at flying. So that's literally dropped the game for me, and I couldn't get into the story. So I dropped the game. Far Cry 3 is, I'm literally at the end of the game. I just forgot about the game. Like, I played Far Cry 3 late in the series, right? I played Far Cry 4, never beat it, and I played Far Cry Primal, never beat it. These games I just dropped. Like I got hours in them. I just never pushed myself to beat them because I got myself bored in these games. So when it came time to play Far Cry 6, it was never on my anticipated list until I actually got it. Like, I had no interest in Far Cry 6 because I knew how I felt about the previous Far Cry games. I was like, I struggle to get through them. I get bored, whatever. So it comes to Far Cry 6, and I'm playing through, and I'm like, this shit kind of lit. And I'm like, all right, it's going to die off. And it just kept its fucking hype. It just, and then I ended up finishing the game, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was like, this is the first Far Cry game that I actually got through from beginning to end. Yes, it has to be the best one then. It has to be the best version of the game, and that's how I felt about it. So it's not like, I'm like...
Go ahead, Smoove. Keep going. I'm going to ask you something after this.
Yeah, I'm not like, it's not that I'm new to the franchise or anything like that. It's just that this was my favorite one and the best experience I've had with all the ones I played, because obviously I beat it. But go ahead, Robbie, my bad.
So BG, let me ask Smoove this, because if they change this in 6, it's a big change from Far Cry 5. In Far Cry 5, if you finished a section of the map, like you maybe got 80% through one section of the map, you would automatically get taken to a cutscene. Your character would just like get knocked out from poison, whatever. You literally couldn't do nothing, and it played a cutscene, and you were like taken to a completely different part of the map that was separated. Do they do that in Far Cry 6, where if you complete a certain part of the map, you have to like go through this cutscene and then do a whole new section?
That was a 5 thing. Yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
That is so BG, that at least is a big change, because that was one of the biggest complaints in Far Cry 5. So at least they did change that, because that was a huge mechanic that so now you can play in this open world and not feel like, oh man, if I do too much, they're just going to take me away from this. So at least they did improve in that aspect by taking something away.
Yeah, no, like when you clear the area, it's like once you're done with the area, you kind of just pretty much go to the next one. All right, which one do I want to do? I want to tackle. Do I want to, get, recruit these people? Do I want to go clear up this level? You pick and choose which you want to go. Or go ahead and attempt and go try to fight the boss. To carry it out. So there's so that's, and I do recall that situation happening in Far Cry 5 with the whole getting like kidnapped and shit.
It happened after every section, main section, at least 3 or 4 times it would happen.
Yeah, nope. No, the game, like I said, that's why I wasn't understanding why, like when I was saying how much I like Far Cry 6, they was like, well, did you do this? How come you like this one, but you ain't like this one? Because they're different fucking games. I'm having a different experience with this one than I did with the last ones I played. They're not the same game. Sure, you could say the formula is the same, but they're executed differently.
Yep. And I will ask this. Let me ask everybody, including, even if you haven't played Far Cry 6, is Far Cry in general, the series, is it one of the better open world first-person shooters? Like completely open world, not semi, because somebody asked me that, and I was trying to think of, well, what other options are there when it comes to open world first-person shooter? Like kind of in sandbox, like a big sandbox. What other options are there?
It's kind of like the Great Value brand of first-person shooters, honestly.
Right.
No, that's not the question he asked.
But what about that genre? It is a genre, open world first-person shooter sandbox. Like what other games, especially AAA, quality, if you want to consider Ubisoft, AAA quality, what other game options are there?
Yeah,
I couldn't think of.
That's a wonderful question, because I don't
know.
But
the question is irrelevant, because it doesn't matter if like there's not a lot of them. It doesn't make Far Cry. No. Listen, it's irrelevant because just because there's not a lot of them doesn't make Far Cry good at it. That's my point.
Yeah, but BG, I will say this. I can agree with that, but until somebody comes and shows me how it's supposed to be done, I mean, this is all I know. So I mean, I would love for somebody, develop the game that was even better,
What's up, Jack?
No. When Sony does it, then he'll be like, this is how you do a Far Cry game.
I was gonna say, since it's episode 300, man, we got another special guest.
Man, listen, I've seen it, and I'm honestly, my nigga, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm being real with you.
I think it'll go good. I think it'll go good.
And he's the donation king, BG. I don't know.
And honestly, Smoove, listen, Smoove. Far Cry just is it's not good, bro. Like it's not. The formula is super old. It's repetitive. It's monotonous, and it's dry. It's dry as fuck. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Okay, BG.
It's boring.
I'm
Okay,
on
BG.
this one.
If BG doesn't like fun games.
You don't like fun games.
Good retort. Good retort.
At least you didn't get
Hey.
pinned. I watched your match, Barry.
Yeah, I'm on your side, BG. At least when Smoove, if I was you, if I put double-digit hours into a game and I was kind of enjoying it and I just thought it was a little boring, just go ahead and beat it. I mean, just go ahead and finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm at the end of Far Cry 3. That's what I thought about doing, actually.
When did you start that game? When did you start? Like the
Far
first
Cry
time
3,
you
I
picked it
started
up?
Far Cry 3, it came with my Far Cry 5, the remaster. That's what it was. It came with my copy of Far Cry 5, sir.
And when was that?
When did Far Cry 5 come out? 2018?
Damn, it taking you 3 years to beat a Far Cry game? Case closed. Proof. The point. Listen, we've spoken. I rest my case.
So
Taking him
wait,
three years to beat a Far Cry
You
game.
know, BG talking all this shit because I'm about to fucking trounce his ass in games B. He ain't touching me.
Trounce.
He's stuck at the same three old
Hey,
games. He had
Smoove.
the
Hey,
fucking
Smoove. I am gonna
had
say
his stats
Smoove.
with fucking Alan Wake and shit. The
Smoove,
game's
I'm ahead-
on 4.
I'm ahead of you, Smoove, in Games Beat, just so you know. I think I'm at like 38 right now.
Hey, I got a quick question. Back for Blood comes out in 2 days.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I don't think anybody cares.
Why the hell we talking about Far Cry 6 and not that game then?
Because
Well,
nobody
Far Cry
cares
6
for
just
Back
came
4
out.
Blood.
Yeah,
Back
Back 4 Blood was
and,
pretty trash from
Far Cry
what
6
I've
came
seen
out
of
this
it.
week. That's why Back 4 Blood comes
Far Cry
out
6
this week. And honestly, I played the beta. I liked it, but I don't think nobody really. I mean, it's going to Game Pass, so that'll help it. But I don't think nobody cares about it like that.
I'm gonna just check it out. That's it.
I mean, it
All right.
looked interesting last time I saw it.
All right, BG, quickly, what is this you're playing? Alan Wake?
Yes.
Yep.
How do you feel about
is
it?
Is that on the Switch?
Yeah, it is.
You should play it, Blandrew.
course not.
No, it's
so,
not.
Alan Wake on the
so-
Switch? That's fine.
That's
Y'all-
not.
did y'all say Alan Wake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like-
Wait, it's
or
on the
like
Switch, right? Am I crazy or?
Yeah, it was in that last direct.
Okay.
Wait, they got that bullshit cloud version garbage.
Alan
Yeah.
Wake? No, Alan Wake isn't.
Well,
on the Switch.
Baron, until
Yeah.
you get a
The
stronger piece
rematch.
of
Well,
hardware,
somebody check.
you'll
Let me
get
see. Alan Wake.
cloud.
So
Alan-
okay.
Alan Wake was potentially leaked via a Brazilian retailer for the Switch, but it's not on the Switch.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
not on now. It's not on now.
Okay.
So yeah. So I bought Alan Wake before on PC.
Oh my
Hello.
Oh,
Hey, what
man.
you want to say? What you want to say, man? What you want to say, man?
Listen, man,
my
I just came in to
God,
say, man,
what's going
God
on?
bless America.
Oh
I make
my
more money
God.
than you niggas, but I wish I was best though.
Episode 300.
Y'all put me to sleep. I crashed my goddamn Mazda right listen to this shit here. I crashed my goddamn Mazda goddamn rowdy. Listen to this dog shit right here. Kid Smoove, you're fired. I ain't never heard you talk that goddamn much on my show. I'm overpaid your ass. Praise God. Woo. Hope these cameras is rolling.
Episode 300, everybody. Episode 300.
Where's that $12,000 PC at, bro?
Oh,
Hey,
God.
Baron, give me my money, nigga. Give my money, nigga.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Zaire, you know he
no
doesn't.
money?
You know he
No
doesn't
money?
pay any bets.
What are you talking about? For real, I really don't know what you're talking
All right, Baron, I ain't gonna do you like that. But listen, I want to say God bless America,
about.
land of my own. Y'all need some super chats over here? I'm looking for y'all. God, you niggas
Yeah,
don't
man.
make
Hit
shit over here.
the super chat button, dog.
Fucked up.
Hit the super
Yes,
chat
sir.
button.
Bro. You talking at 60 frames per second right now, man.
Hey, RGT, I'm about to go over the spawn cast. These niggas acting over crazy over here, bro.
Some money attack.
Niggas acting crazy over here.
How much do you need to keep the lights on, man? How much do you need 300 right now?
I need 12,000. Sell that
You need
PC.
12,000? You need 12,000?
I need 12,000, my G.
You could probably do it too, BG.
What you gonna do with it? Get a Brazilian butt lifting? Fuck, nigga. Listen.
Oh my God.
Legendary.
I mean, what you nigga? I'm just saying, man. I'm tired of seeing my black brothers out here, man.
Hey, Z, I got.
Nigga, you need to go on a welfare line, nigga. Food stamps, nigga.
Yeah,
Food program, nigga. Say, nah, I'm out of here.
boiling room talking about you again.
I don't man. Hey, listen, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I make more money than y'all niggas. I'm sorry. Shut up, real shit. I'm out of here, though. Hey, Jack, pull up, man. I'm on.
You don't want it.
Oh, man.
I am on some niggas, though. But shout out to that niggas, though. Real shit, though. No hate. Shout out to y'all niggas, though. He said, peace out. I hate that.
Yeah.
Y'all got more money, you niggas. Got more money, though. Shout out to the chat. Fuck you niggas in the chat. I'm gone. I'm out. God bless America.
Zaire.
For sure.
Speaking of the ball
Hey,
brothers,
Shokyo, hold up.
Zaybek.
Hey, Shokyo, you was a whole out here, nigga. That's why I'm your fucking brother and had that nigga crying by that water. Pokemon Go, I did that to that nigga. Never forget that. Whole ass nigga. I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get past in the past. I'm gonna get past in the past. But I fucked that nigga up. That nigga down some more bullshit. I did that to that nigga with non-followers. I'm sorry. I'm going. I'm sorry. Out of here. Praise God. Love. I'm going. What?
RBT. Zaire says Iowata like Regal calls him Umango.
I don't know who the fuck that was. Niggas up there crying. It was Iowata, Pokemon Go. Bitch, who the fuck I'm going? But I did that to that nigga. Never forget that. You ain't got to mute your mic, nigga.
What language did you speak? You said that like you said you out like mad times.
I said it in dollar bills. I just came here to flaunt my wealth and yank my goddamn dick. I'm gone. God bless America.
What the fuck is going on?
See, I tell you it was gonna go well, man. There you go.
I came back to hearing some intelligible monkey speaking. What was that?
Y'all wild, man.
Why Zaire talk like a Sims character?
Yo,
this shit is crazy.
Nah, you talking that Courage the Cowardly Dog language right there, bro. Shit.
What is happening, bro? What is Jack Move? Did you plan this? Did you plan this for episode 300? Are you behind this?
It's an all-star episode, BG.
I mean,
BG,
damn,
you
we
let Blandrew host, and then this is what happens.
We bought the who's who out of YouTube.
Yo,
man.
for
This is
1
lit.
second, we had Zaire, Baron, and Kid Smoove on. All we needed is Dr. Trey. We had the 4 worst gamers on YouTube in one spot.
Jesus
Facts.
Oh my God! What's the next topic, Blandrew? Alan Wake.
Man,
listen.
Go ahead.
Alan Wake. Listen, it's Alan Wake. The game looks slightly better. The cutscenes look a little better. I mean, it's very much Remedy. You know, you're shooting shadows. You're shining a light on shadows. You're shooting shadows. I bought this game on PC before, but you know, never ended up beating it. I'm like 70% through it at this point. You know, it's a decent story. It's Alan Wake, man. I don't necessarily think. I'm not sure why they remastered it and brought it back. You know, maybe it's to test the waters to see the interest. But you know, it's not something you're gonna get a sequel to. I don't think the interest in Alan Wake is up there like that. But it's a decent 10-hour game of you shooting shadows. If you like Remedy stuff like that, because you know Remedy is always having us shooting, you know, paranormal type enemies and shit like that. It is what it is. That's what it is.
Remedy is overrated. I've never been a fan of Remedy. Control.
They need to be
great.
Control was good. Control was good.
Alan Wake was not great. Max Payne 2 to this day is the most overrated game of all time.
No, don't do that. Max Payne 2 is amazing.
That's the most overrated game of all time.
As somebody who hates acquisition talk, I think Remedy needs to be acquired. I don't care by who. That's the thing. I don't care who acquires Remedy. I just think they need to be acquired by somebody so they can reach the next level in their, because every one of their games is just a true sign that they don't have enough like resources and manpower. That's why they never have. That's the reason why Remedy never has like human enemies with like individual like designs and faces, because it saves them money. Make it in Control. The enemies are just these paranormal figures with no faces.
Yeah, they just fade away when they die.
Reload animations.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't have a reload animation in Quantum Break. Alan Wake, you're just shooting shadows. They every one of their games is pretty much a game on a budget, and that's why they need to be acquired. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I agree.
I didn't plan on having this topic for today. I was going to save it for next week, but the energy of this podcast is already in the realm of chaos. So let's talk about local YouTuber Saltiest Gaming, who recently had an interview with gaming industry insider Colin Moriarty. Did anybody here watch this interview? Which has now been taken down, by the way.
Yeah,
he did.
I watched it.
I saw it.
He disabled the likes and then he deleted it afterwards.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's an L.
But he said he was wrong, pretty much.
But you know what? The funny thing is, Jack,
What's
he
up?
was wrong. But Blandrew, did you get unblocked?
No. I agreed with what's his name, Saltiest, and I didn't even say anything disrespectful, and he still blocked it.
And you know what? he said he was wrong, which would mean he agreed with what I said. But I'm still blocked. Now imagine that.
It's a bond.
The funny thing is, you know, people could simply say, like Baron, hey Bond, let me DM you. Could you delete that? Okay, cool, that's fine. But people don't ever want to talk and communicate like men. They just want to hit that block button.
Wait, so Bond, can you break down what exactly this debate was about? It seemed to be all over the place, and I couldn't follow it like I would like to. So
I'll explain to you what happened. So that Gutierrez guy, he's a PlayStation fanboy. Whatever.
I grow on Twitter.
Being a fanboy ain't the end of the fucking world. People take it like you calling them a fanboy is like you're a racist, you're an offender, or something wild. Mute your mic, Smoove. So Gutierrez put up one of Colin Moriarty's podcast videos, and he cut it up, for fanboy fuck shit. So Colin called it out, and Saltiest was upset, saying, "How dare you talk to one of your fans that way? These are the people that support you and are your Patreon supporters and watch you, and you wouldn't even have had content if it wasn't for people like this, but now you think you're better than us because you talk down to us." And I'm here to say right now, content creators are better than their viewers.
Oh, man.
Ooh, absolutely.
Because for the people that are also content creators, cool, you're on a level playing field. But for you faceless nobodies that are afraid of the camera, that are just nobodies and NPCs and Twitterverse, YouTuberverse, yes, the content creators are better than you. And I don't understand how you want to complain and dictate that we should talk to you differently, treat you differently. There's 771 people here watching. There's no way we could make a podcast that's going to satisfy all 771 people in here. We're not going to change it for one person. We're not going to change it for two people. Y'all need to get over yourselves.
My thing is,
sorry.
I don't know why these people, like, there are people older than me. I'm currently 26 years old, but they want me to talk to them like I'm Steve from Blue's Clues or something, to just be their friend. At least with us, I might not agree with you guys, but I feel like we're real people. Like, you can't just come at us any type of way, disrespect us any type of way, and think that we're not gonna fight back and be like, well, I'm a subscribe. We're not asking you to watch the channel. You don't have to be here. Bye. We're not gonna miss you. For some reason, everybody wants to be treated like you even see it in like the way that a lot of old, like bigger YouTubers talk. They raise their voice a whole octave, they act friendly, and then they get all depressed and suicidal over YouTube because they can't be their real selves.
Yep. Oh, here's another thing. Just because you donate, you watch, support, doesn't give you the right to act like an asshole.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
But like, oh, I support you, I watch you, you should cater to be like, yo, you're not my girlfriend. Like, for real, you're not my girlfriend. Why? These people literally are up here acting like we should treat them like our significant others and cater to them. Or like they're our children. Oh, it's okay, Johnny. Yo, the dude knew what he was doing. It upset Colin's employees, so Colin took action.
Yeah.
Period.
So here's my thoughts, right? This looked to me, and Salty hasn't blocked me. I mean, I don't know if he's. I've said some things.
It's crazy because you said far worse than me or Bond did.
Hey, man, I hold weight around here.
BG got more clout than y'all. Y'all know the vibes.
Hey. So look, what it appeared to me is he called out Colin, and he didn't think Colin was actually going to come on, right? And Colin was like, "Oh, but I will." Colin talks like that. So he agreed to come on, Salty's show and everything like that. And I don't think Salty, really expected that. And I think he saw it as a chance for some attention to his channel, for some clout or whatever. Because Colin has a big fan base and everything like that. And I don't think he was prepared for a real conversation. Like, it didn't seem like that to me, because when Colin started to call out some of the things that Salty said, like he said that Colin was afraid to lose access to people in the industry, like Microsoft and his connections in the industry like that. And Colin, came on the show and said, I haven't had any contact with anybody from the industry since 2017. And Colin has said that many times before, by the way. That's not something he just went on that show and said. He's been blackballed in the industry from many people, like, for a while. So Colin addressed that, and he said that to Salty, and Salty just kind of danced around it. It was so crazy. Colin was like, "You said this, but this is not true." And then Salty went to, why are you talking down to me? I was like, come on,
You think
dog.
you're better than me?
You think you're better than me, don't you?
And then BG, what got worse was he started talking like a fucking feminist. Oh, you're being so toxic.
Bro,
You're
he called him triggered.
You're triggered.
When he called him triggered, I was like, yo, it's a
yo,
wrap. I was like, pack it up.
Mm-hmm.
It was done. Like you can't get in a conversation. Like that's what I hate about like people on Twitter and YouTube, right? They talk shit about you for days, months, years, right? And then when you finally address them, they say you're triggered. Like I'm finally answering. I thought that's what you
the other
wanted.
phrase like I mind blanked you, bro, or something like that.
I'm finally answering you. I thought you wanted my attention. Why am I triggered for you have tweeted me for a year and not gotten a response, but I'm the crazy one. Like what's going on, bro? Like you should be in the asylum, but somehow you making it seem like I'm crazy. That's the meta on that's the meta on YouTube.
And I was like, bro, this is like kind of awkward. Like after like 10, 15 minutes of what I was watching, like the saltiest guy or whatever, like his responses were just, they weren't even relevant to like the conversation after a while.
Thank
you. I was like, why am I even watching this?
You could tell he had grudges beforehand. Like,
I think honestly, once he knew that Colin was going to be on like the show or whatever, his like channel, I think he was just trying. Yeah, he was like, man, let me just milk this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start bringing up politics and Patreon money. Like,
I really think he wanted Colin to like go off
Get
or
mad,
say something that he could use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then he could have the video where he makes Colin Moriarty get out of his frame. That's what it seemed like he was shooting for, but it backfired.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the funny thing is, if Colin was really triggered, you know what Colin would have done? He would have struck that guy's Twitter channel for DMCA.
Yeah.
Because he could do that. Because all he did was cut up his content and put it up. So he legally could have done that.
He just said he doesn't want his content weaponized in fanboy garbage, and for some reason people were mad about that. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of these people aren't content creators, so they don't understand what it's like for somebody to take your content. Like people do it to us all the time. They'll take one thing we say, like, you know, a 20-second clip of something we say in a 10-minute video and completely twist it. And they don't understand how annoying that is. So, you know.
Yeah, he said his co-workers were getting harassed and everything by people, all because the whole clip was taken out of context. But go ahead, Bon.
BG, you were kind of wild, though. Talk about this man getting his colon checked and shit. Like, God.
Hey, man.
He was on Twitter like, yo, Colin checking his prostate.
Hey man, when you online getting your ass whooped by another man, that you getting your prostate checked. That's just the only way to describe it, bro.
Hey,
That's
look,
how
when I saw Alex say something about he was getting his back blown out, I said, "Whoa, Paul!" I was like, "Yeah, did y'all see that? Oh no, it's Alex or something like that."
That's par for the course with Alex.
Yeah. Like I don't follow that man, but like once I saw he came up with my timeline.
Yeah, that's actually pretty vanilla for Alex.
Yeah,
he all about tucking and fucking all that kind of crazy shit.
Oh, y'all crazy.
But listen,
and that real quick, nobody has any right to try to tell any content creator to dictate how they do their content, period.
That's a fact.
Y'all have the free will to watch whoever you want to watch and to not watch whoever you don't want to watch. Now, if somebody legitimately only has one viewer and you're the only nigga supporting, then okay. They'll take your thoughts and opinions into consideration. We will too, but we're not going to change the whole show for one person. Go ahead, Robbie. I'm sorry.
Well, Bon, I think you're going to agree with me on this. There's a difference between like somebody that actually wants to give criticism, maybe to like to suggest maybe it would make the content better. But when people just like suggest stuff and then they're getting all like butthurt about it because you're not changing your channel to fit their individual views, it's like that's not going to fly because especially, you know, like you said, how many people we have watching this right now? 700 something. You can't cater to everybody. It's just impossible. So.
Yeah. People just hate me, so
like I said,
I'm just used to it.
People want you to treat them like they're significant others.
RGT, I feel like you're a fairly positive guy, though.
I mean, people will try to nitpick like every little thing. I once I did a game room tour, and I said at the end of the video that I was kind of like done collecting for the most part, and I was gonna start selling some games off because I wanted to downsize a bit. And people literally like several people made videos on me saying that I was donating the games that my fans had sent me. Meanwhile, I was selling the games that my fans had sent me. Meanwhile, I haven't had a PO box in like over 3 years, and I was literally going to sell duplicates of the thing. The only reason I decided to say something on my channel was because I was like, well, great, I'll sell these games a fuck of a lot faster if I say something on my channel, tell them to go to my Facebook page, put them up there for sale. Bam, I don't have to worry about anything. Plus, maybe someone will buy like a big lot of them. It's insane. It is insane how people will obsess with other people for no reason other than the fact that they watch you.
That
Like,
sounds
they watch it.
insane to get mad at.
It's crazy, man. Like, I'm just so used to it nowadays. Like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, because when you're first starting out, you're definitely very reactive. But I feel like the longer you're in the YouTube game and the more people are watching you, like, you just grow like a cold heart to it, and you're just like
Absolutely.
my whole thing now is like, if you're not fucking with my money, I don't care. I don't care. Say whatever you want about. I'm the worst person in the fucking world. I'll be all right.
I do got a bone to pick with you. I was thinking about
Go
making
on.
a video on you.
Go
I
on.
had this nice, pristine, brand new, sealed, wrapped Mario Galaxy 2. I'm like, you know what? I want to send that out to why the games get graded. Make a good grand on it. You know what I'm saying? I went out and I bought another copy of Galaxy 2 for $10 on Amazon. Then I see this RGT guy. I don't really hate on people. When you fucking with my money, man.
Look, the fact of the matter is, though, you could still, because who's buying the games that are WATA graded?
WATA.
It's WATA themselves. So
Yeah, I
they'll still
know.
sell it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Oh man. Okay.
Hey Shokyo, you still there? Shokyo?
He probably icing his body from
Oh, he's left.
rollerblading.
He got by the Emmy, y'all.
Okay. Last topic really is well, we have one after this one, but Switch OLED. Anybody here picking it up?
Fuck no.
Tried to.
Right.
I mean,
skip.
I saw a couple of them at my store. I figured, hey, may I have a copy, but I'm like, nah, I don't need it. I still got a regular Switch model.
I obviously just wanted it to make a video on it because I just wanted to make a video
Why
on
not?
it because I would be able to make my money back and then some on it. So it seemed like an easy thing. But no, I actually pre-ordered it from Walmart and it's still not here. They can't tell me when it's coming, I pre-ordered it the day it went up on Walmart's website, and Walmart's usually pretty good. I got my Series X and my PS5 from them, and they both came on release day, but I have no idea what's going on with this thing. So now it's to the point of like, if I don't hear in the next day or two, I'm just going to cancel it and just get it whenever, because I don't really have the urge to get it, because by the time I make a video on it, who gives a fuck?
So my question is, if this is the Switch OLED, when's the actual Switch Pro coming out? Or whatever model is going to be actually updated with specs and all
Whenever
that.
Valve says this
4K Switch or something.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
what I'm waiting for, honestly.
There's a lot of trains of thought with it. One of the trains of thought is that initially this was supposed to be the 4K Switch model, and you could almost see it in the fact with the dock, because the dock has a chip in it that's capable of 4K, and it's designed with things like upscaling technology such as DLSS. We also have a patent from Nintendo that was discovered from last year that was just made public a couple weeks ago, that Nintendo themselves is working on technology that's essentially like DLSS, just sort of their own version of it that can scale up to 4K. So the train of thought is, because of the chip shortage, they went ahead and just decided to release the OLED. The OLED was supposed to have the 4K thing, and then the 4K thing is going to be down the road, maybe in a year or two. But to me, it's almost like they're at a crossroads, because you have to decide on whether or not you want to do a full-on successor, or just, compare it to like a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, and a PlayStation 5. You have the core system, you have the upgraded core system, and then you have the successor. What's this system going to be? Are they going to go like an Apple route where they just release upgrades, maybe every year or two, and then they don't worry about it because you have 90 million plus that have already bought into your thing, and now you're expanding it with more powerful hardware? Those people who bought the system initially will probably buy it again, and you keep everything in the same ecosphere. or do you go with a true power upgrade to the point of where you're going to have games that only run on that system and play the back catalog of games? So I really don't know. Like I still have people tell me that have been very credible off the record that there's going to be something next year, and I just can't imagine them doing a new system next year already, because then it's like if you bought the OLED, you're going to feel kind of stupid.
Has there been a revision for the Switch every year since it's been out? Like we had the original one, we had the expanded battery, then the Lite, and then the OLED. So actually, it's not too,
What the
you know, out of. Go ahead.
The thing about because like the Lite brings you a different experience, you know, at a cheaper price
More
point.
foldable, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the other revisions, like, you know, there were quiet revisions. You know, it wasn't like, oh, here's a brand new system. Whereas the OLED is being marketed as a brand new system. I guess they could technically do it because, I mean, let's be real, the people who bought an OLED will probably just buy that system too. But
absolutely,
it'll be interesting to see what they do though, because you have to do something, or else these cloud games are going to keep coming, and you're going to keep running into these issues. And I think it's better to do it sooner rather than later.
Then if that's the case, do you think, like, let's say we get another revision next year, do you think it gets its own series of exclusives like the new 3DS? Because when that came out, we saw a lot of games that didn't really do all that well, like Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles didn't really get a fair chance until the Switch version came out with Definitive Edition.
Right. And I mean, really on the new 3DS, besides the fact that you could play Super Nintendo games via the virtual console, you had like 4 or 5 games that fully utilized it. But you could also look at that from a business standpoint of, you know, the new 3DS didn't exactly light the world on fire. People were just still buying the standard 3DS or the 2DS at a cheaper price point. So I'm not sure. I think if it's a successor, it'll have its own library. If it's just a mid-gen refresh, which, I mean, Nintendo themselves has said they want the system to last 10 years, where this will be 5 years coming up. It is kind of in the middle. If you want to believe that it will last 10 years, you got to do something. You know, you got to do something. I just don't know which way they're going to go. If it has its own library of games, it's going to be a successor. If it doesn't, I think it'll just be a refresh.
Okay.
Well, shout out to Sony for the OLED innovation.
OLED,
right? Yeah, the Vita.
Oh, the
Original
Vita.
Still a great looking screen.
Yeah, I actually have it. But I wanted to.
Saying Colin Moriarty is dangerous to the industry, so we have to treat him as such. You know, people at their politics get way too involved in how they socialize with other people.
I hope all these people with the OLEDs actually use their LAN adapter like they said they'd use.
I've been using a LAN adapter as of late. It's been helping tremendously with podcasting. I'm not constantly getting kicked out.
You don't say.
Yeah, what happened? What changed?
Oh, you're a Wi-Fi warrior.
No, I still am a Wi-Fi warrior, but as far as like right now, it's just been really helping with my PC. Like I went to try out League of Legends a couple weeks ago. Don't ask me why, but I was playing League of Legends on my PC, and I couldn't even boot up the what do you call it? Like the main screen to sign in or anything. It just kept kicking me out from the internet.
Man,
but ever since I hooked up, it's been a dream.
What do you know?
That bald postman was telling me that Wi-Fi was faster than Ethernet.
Yo,
swear to God, man! I swear that 5 years of the Wii U, you Nintendo niggas were really on the borderline.
No, they were
spectrum.
unbearable.
You guys were on the spectrum for real.
I miss that era of Nintendo fans. I really do.
So, RGT, I got a question for you.
What up?
Blandrew says we have a hard time finding people to come onto the podcast that are Nintendo fans because they hate us. They hate us because we were critical of the Wii U, and anybody can tell you that the Wii U was not the best system, and definitely probably the worst Nintendo system outside the Virtual Boy.
I mean, it sold 13 million. You can't really argue with numbers. I mean,
but apparently we are villains for pointing out the obvious.
No, I don't think so.
I remember when Baron.
No. When it pertains to the Nintendo, I don't. Whoever started it first, I'm not really, debating that. But I am saying there is a lot of hate on a personal level, not even just about like plastic or anything.
Oh, we know.
Like you guys have attacked each other on a personal level, whether it's looks, careers, or whatever. But,
we make fun of Nintendo fans, but like That's the thing. Like RGT is a Nintendo fan, but he's never taken it personal. Like you see the crazy shit I be saying, right? RGT.
Yes, I laugh.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I don't know why they take it like so personal. It's really just jokes.
Because they were mad that for 5 years they were, as General MLD says, the bitch of the industry. And
where was General MLD during the Xbox One?
Getting married, having kids, buying a home.
Yeah.
How convenient for him.
Yeah, I bet he was.
Hey, he posted his wife and his pregnant wife on Twitter, so you can't say he was lying.
That was a 5-year birth.
You saying you can't play games while you're doing all that stuff?
No, he left YouTube to concentrate on all that stuff.
Oh, you talking about like creating content? I got.
So why did he come back saying all this dumb ass shit again?
Because now he has a wife. Now he's married. He's got a house. He's got his life.
Like he'll be more matured, man.
It's
like
the same rhetoric.
No. I can't say anything negative about that man. If you are a content creator and you want to put your life first, you should. You know what happens to people that put their content before life? Their brothers fuck their girlfriends.
Oh my god. Anyway,
we turning up today, okay?
Those are your people. Don't try to
listen.
We're cool. Or your brothers become suicidal gang members.
What's going on now?
Bond is talking about specific people. Bond is, but no, hold on. I wanted to bring up the fact that Baron, do you still stand by the fact that the Wii U didn't fail?
No, he admitted it failed.
Okay.
No, I've been admitted. I mean, how much did it sell? Jesus Christ! Like,
because for a while you were saying that it was always the plan to bring out the new system, like after 3 or 4 years.
You go twisting up shit again.
He was playing a heel. That's all he was doing. He knew that shit failed.
No, BG wanted me to crown it as a failure 4 months after it came out, and I wasn't gonna do that.
Oh man, we were deeper than 4 months.
Nah, it was literally around March, and it launched in November. You was talking about it was a failure. I was like, I'm not calling that thing a failure. It ain't even been out a year yet.
I guess you still playing that zombie? That thing heat, right?
Oh yeah, remember when Baron said the launch?
You're never gonna let me. I'm never gonna go back on that game. That game was.
I didn't like that joint. I didn't like it.
Remember when Baron said the Wii U's launch wasn't lukewarm? It was one of the best launches of all time.
Wow. Remember when Baron said the only way out of NW Nation is in a box?
That was he. I remember.
I ain't never said that, so I don't know why I keep repeating it.
You definitely told Shoki.
Wait a minute. When or where did y'all ever hear me say that?
You said that.
Say that line.
Nation is in a box.
It did Shoki dressed up like
like what are y'all talking about?
He dressed up like a man in black.
Bro, you said wait, what did you say, Jack? Move the what?
You don't remember if Shokyo did that video response? He was dressed up like Will Smith from Men in Black. You don't remember that shit?
What is that?
You created the damnation, but I created you. That's
that's what y'all had like this little fake beef going on. I remember.
I never said that line. When you leave in the nation, you leave in the box. I've never said.
Okay, let me tell you when you said it. You said
I don't
it.
know where it came from.
You said it. No. What's that thing we used to talk on PS3? The PS3
White Room.
The White Room. You literally it was ironic because we were in the PS3 White Room. That's when you told all the other nations the only way out is in a box. I was like, yo, this shit is gold. I was like, yo, this is some real shit.
Talking about.
You said in a wheat box.
Never said that.
Console came in.
I was like, yo, this is a real mafia type thing going on here.
That's not even a close. The only line I said that could come anywhere close to that, I said when you're in the End Up Nation, you End Up Nation for life, which is a play on the NWO. So I've never said you got to leave in the box.
You said the only way out.
I never said that.
You want to know what some other dumb shit you said was?
I never said that. So
you want to hit some other
I don't know where you got
said?
that.
Oh Lord.
Remember when you said that Smash on the Wii U will sell 2.7 million copies in the first day?
I remember that.
You still on that?
Do you remember when you said the Wii U would pass the PS4 in sales?
Yeah, I said that in December. The Wii U came out in November. What else do you want to know?
For JRPGs for the last 5 weeks.
No, could you imagine saying the Wii U would sell more than the PlayStation 4?
Damn, they bringing up your greatest hits, Baron.
I mean, at the time of those things being said, that was not far fetched. So I don't understand. I mean, you could.
you were just coming off the Wii, which was the console that outsold the PS3. So I mean, it wasn't too out of the realm of reality.
That's what I'm saying. Acting like I said this shit in like 2018 or something. No, I said it when Wii U came out. Like, what the hell are you talking
for a
about?
whole year failing before the.
You got any
PS4
other
even
topics
came
though,
out.
Blanger?
Actually, I do. Last time I hosted, I did a little status report with Jay Bari, Persona, and Shadow Fox to see, the state of their current consoles. But I want to do it with the podcast panel members, and I guess the others can join in as well to see, give us like some little suggestions and improvements. But how are you guys feeling about the Weapon Wheel podcast currently? Do you see yourself being here much longer? Do you think we could be doing anything to improve? Like, what's going on? 300
like we
deep
said, we
into
don't
the
be here till the
podcast.
wheels fall off.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
listen,
till we get big enough, we get canceled.
Yeah, I actually, I wouldn't be mad at being canceled. When you get canceled, that means, I wouldn't mind being canceled. I mean, off a weapon, not from like life. If I get canceled,
Right. Well, that shit can carry over too, though.
That's true.
it could, but like I keep things separate enough that if we get canceled on Weapon Wheel, I'm like, you know what, that's an okay way to go out. I ain't too mad at that. But I mean, before the podcast started, I said, listen, I'm guaranteeing y'all, I'm signing a contract, a virtual contract with the audience. I'm gonna give y'all 500, right? And after that, we might go to two podcasts a month, or might not do nothing at all, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know.
You're gonna train up the next generation, much like Boruto or something.
Hey,
like,
man, them successful white podcasts be doing like one a month. Be having like 30,000 on they goddamn. Hey, man, listen. Maybe we are hustling backwards. You gotta think about it.
Hey, so what's
should
the
give her a
biggest difference
show, huh?
between Weapon Wheel, like, when y'all first started to now? Like, what do y'all feel like the biggest difference is?
Less drama, less beefing, less.
Way less argument. Way less.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Better presentation. I think we're more organized.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff you learn over time.
Right.
I've I've gotten better looking, smarter, wiser.
Beard game better.
Vaughn's still chasing the same chicks 10 years ago.
Man, I got, Bomb might be locked down. Only got 3 right. Only got 3
Don't
right
fall for this. He said this like 7 years ago. Don't fall for this.
Well, okay, I'll make you a bet. What's gonna happen first? Me retire my jersey, or you have a kid?
Oh, me having a kid is definitely coming first.
Oh, you've been putting that shit off forever.
Hey man, you got me running the guest, the fire guest I've been bringing on, the vibe.
Hey, Tony low key been bringing it. Hey, low key. Tony.
Don't y'all really gonna give Tony credit for the guest recently?
Yes.
Exactly.
This agent of chaos wanted to bring on Salty just for drama.
Hey, man. That might have been the move. Who knows?
Wait, y'all just said the drama was less, but now y'all
Well, we talking about between panel members. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
we can't say that salty shit because they're gonna say we set them up. We can't say that.
You know what the funny thing is about all those crazy things Baron said? He lost all those bets and still never paid up for him.
Oh man,
craziness.
Real quick, I
owe no debts. I have a perfect credit score. I have no collections, so I know what you're talking about.
Baron.
I just need to bring up some stuff that happened this week that we didn't talk about.
18.
There you go.
Real quick, just to bring this stuff up, we don't got to talk about it. I just want to acknowledge it. Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl came out this week. There is more rumors about a Sly Cooper game popped up. I hope y'all never get that. I hope Sly Cooper fans are always in eternal pain. I hope y'all never get another game, bro. Sly Cooper is in the Shadow Realm, and I want him to stay there.
The Shadow Realm.
I want him to stay there.
You know what the
what
funny
else?
thing is about the Shadow Realm? The Shadow Realm doesn't even exist in the Japanese version of the show.
Really?
Was it just
That's
hell or
like
something?
That's like a 4Kids dub line, like the next dimension.
It's just hell.
Yeah,
I forgot what it's called. They're like Yamino games or some shit.
Interesting. What else did I have? Oh, the Epic Game Store is getting achievements. That's good.
Before Nintendo.
Yep, before Nintendo.
What is Alex gonna say now?
You still can't. There's still no wish list. I think there's still no wish list. So he's gonna say
There's
that.
one thing. I'm about to dip out again, but there's one thing. These trophies need sounds. There's no
Yeah,
sound.
yeah, I need that.
If there's no sound, they can keep them.
I need that because visually they look good. Like they showed an example of what they look like. I like how they look, but I need a sound when I
need
get
that
them.
Sound exactly. I need that sound, man.
I'm gonna be real with you, Jack. They might roast me, dog. They might roast me. If achievements are more satisfying on the Epic Game Store than Steam, and both of the games run equally, I might get more games on Epic Game Store for them.
Yes, sir. Speak on that. Yes, sir. Facts.
They gonna roast me, dog. But I'm saying it.
The funny thing is, the only people that don't want achievements on Nintendo platforms are the Nintendo fans, because once Nintendo drops achievements, we gonna run credit checks on your asses, Baron.
Everybody account gonna be you know what though? The Nintendo's gonna be the only
You don't have to
platform.
run no credit check on me. Anybody can go to my Switch
Baron,
page and look at all my gameplay.
It took you how long to beat
You
Zelda
can look.
again?
You can look at my gameplay hours. Which Zelda you talking about?
Breath of the Wild. How long did that take you to beat again?
Man, how long did I take Breath of the Wild? I think Breath of the Wild was 40. No, it probably was 40 hours. I was exploring a lot in Breath of the Wild. I still play Breath of the Wild.
And we were waiting for you and
But
Shay
if
to beat
anybody
it.
wants to check my gaming hours, you can just go ahead and look
But
up my
see,
Switch.
gaming hours don't mean anything. You frauds can just be leaving your game on like Trey.
Come on,
you
now.
gotta show them in-game
stop the
stats.
cap. Stop the cap. now.
Twitch.
How long you never beat Xenoblade Chronicles X?
And I ain't gonna go back and beat it either.
We know.
I gotta bring this up. So this week, there was a Twitch leak, and I guess people were shocked to know that when you send Twitch streamers money, that they make a lot of money, because apparently niggas was shocked at how much money these Twitch streamers were making. Right. So the leaks came out, and listen, okay, like I've never even heard of half these people, but like Critical Role, he made. Bro, this dude made $9 million from August to October. XQC Cow, he was like in the 8 million. Summit 1G made like 8 million. Nick Merckx 5 million. These dudes is making bank, and like I saw some people upset. I'm like, y'all are upset. You're like, what? Like people gave them this money. This is what Twitch streamers make.
Man, I gotta change my career, man. Jeez.
That wasn't based on donations, I don't think. I
No,
think
the
that
donations
It's only subs.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, but
Damn, for real. Fire.
And that's the thing. I mean, giving it to them, I still count subbing as giving them money. You know, it's the same. But yeah, then they made a lot more than this. Then, if this is only subscription,
Well, that was payouts though. I mean, if you they put donations on payouts, not the like the bit donations.
Well, yeah, this says total payout, whatever that includes.
They
The
would have some bits on this.
they making money. I guess some people were surprised. People don't like to see other people making money. Like people get upset about that. I realize
That shit is goofy to me. But look though, right? A lot, and then it was some people that even like stream themselves. Hate like, bruh, if you was in that, you streaming to get into that position, right? Like I can't hate on somebody because they doing what the fuck I want to do. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like
That's the truth. There's a lot of that going on.
People that are hating are just pathetic morons.
Well, they're jealous that they can't do it.
Yep.
I mean, that's
Yo,
really what
BG,
it boils down to.
You said it was from August to October, but it was from last year to this year, August to October, not like 2 months, man.
Oh, it's not 2 months. Oh, okay.
No,
My bad.
You know who Tony reminds me of? He reminds me of Tony Reality when he was on PTI. Nigga up here like stat boy.
oh, you tell me, yeah.
I'm coming in with a correction. What you mean?
My bad.
And
Point
then
is, these people is hella rich, and people were shocked about it for some reason or upset about it. Listen, I don't know why y'all surprised.
I was looking for Jack name on there.
Did you hear the worst of it at the end?
What?
The way Jack be talking in the Discord, I was looking for
Jack.
Jack do be talking spicy like he on his top 10 list though sometimes.
Bro, I was watching PSP. This nigga tried lying. This nigga was definitely in the Discord. You can ask Alex. This nigga was talking about buying a diamond grill. This shit.
Hey,
dead ass.
I don't know what you talking about, dog. Y'all, you
nigga trying to make me look crazy.
You a crazy boy. Nah, you a crazy boy.
Hey, chat. All I know is I ain't making nothing near these Twitch streamers. You know, y'all might want to increase y'all support. That's all I'm saying. See, you know what's crazy? People are gonna take exactly what I said. You know it, because I know how YouTube works. They're gonna say BG was what's e-begging. That's they're gonna. Yep, they're gonna. I've been on here a long time, bro. I know how shit works. They gonna take that.
It's only e-begging if you're not on that list. If you're on that list, then you good. You see
Exactly,
what I'm saying?
and they go
Which is bizarre, isn't that fucking?
Yeah, I know, right? I know,
Like
right?
nobody says shit about these people making literally millions of dollars, but like, if it's someone that they could feel, you know what it is? I feel like that they feel like they can reach out and touch you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're big, but you're not that big. Like you'll at least check your Twitter or something like that. So they feel like they could do that shit, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Like
you don't deserve it, but they do type shit. Like
bro, I say earlier, they want you to they want to be your girlfriend. They want you to treat them special.
We get slandered. We could ask people for likes and we get slandered, right? These dudes will say, "Hey, I need y'all to sub. I need y'all to support. Donate." All right, sure, pal.
Yeah.
No problem.
While they're
Like,
making millions, they're asking that.
man, and we can't even get some likes. It's crazy
I
out
saw a nigga
here.
streaming that Nintendo character reveal. He was getting hella donations. I saw this nigga looking direct at the chat. This nigga did not read one. I was like,
most successful streamers don't read their
That's
chat.
what I'm saying.
Well, they got too many viewers. First of all, how you gonna respond to all that bullshit, man? It'll be hard.
Hey, don't let BG lie to you. I got monetized last month. I got like 5,000 views, made $100. Nigga lying about how much he made. Facts.
Oh shit.
Who, me?
The funny thing about it was when it was all said and done, you had websites making articles stating that Twitch proves how man-dominated and patriarchal it is, and women-hating it is because men are making more money.
Listen, I make enough money from YouTube a month that I'll say I could pay my rent with it. Right,
Oh,
so
so
that
Damn, you live in New York. Hold on, wait a minute. God damn, hold on.
Oh, wait. But hold on.
You just told on yourself, player.
But hold on.
You can't New York with this money here. That must be.
But hold on. Time out. Okay, I said I could pay my rent with it, right? But I also have a real job, so still gotta eat. Like it's not like I paid my rent, I'm good. I still gotta eat.
Jack don't got a real job, so we need more money.
Facts. Hey, thank you, Bob. Yeah, that's
I shouldn't have told you.
I can't pay my rent, BG. What's going on?
This is wild. BG and they're like Scrooge McDuck, boy. He got that bank just swimming in it. He ain't giving y'all.
Stop this.
It's funny that Baron said that because at least one of y'all niggas can swim now.
Didn't I just say this nigga BG lying about how much he made?
What? What are you talking? How am I lying?
I told you. I got that first YouTube check, and then this nigga BG snitched.
Oh, hold on, no, time out, because y'all not about to make it seem like I can't. Okay, I can't live. I cannot live off of what I make off YouTube.
Listen. BG been bragging about remember when BG was bragging about the police code quick in that neighborhood he live in is not cheap. I told y'all this nigga making bank.
What? Why are you?
Hey, look, it's episode 300. You had a lot of people come on here. Just go ahead and tell the truth, man. I know how much it costs to live in New York.
Let me,
bro.
You don't need to be about telling the truth.
Let me turn this around.
Hold on. I can't speak for anyone else on here, but RGT85 is scraping by. He lives here. They say I'm homeless. I'm a meth addict. I'm homeless. I live in my mother's basement. All these things are correct.
I was about to turn this around on RGT because I think you from New York too.
No. I live in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. But RGT got 400. He got 400,000 subs, and his videos be getting over. What's this? 50?
BG, it's gonna be easy.
Snitched on himself earlier. He said that Switch video was gonna pay for the Switch and Mars. These niggas, everybody in here snitching.
I do not recall saying
to me. I don't know why you're talking about y'all's money like that. Y'all gotta keep that. Keep that on the wrap.
That Switch is like $300, $400. They ain't gonna pay nobody rent. BG paying rent. So BG, what area you stay in again? Which area?
You making a lot of money. You in a broke ass part of New York.
Let's change this topic. Like I said, I can pay my rent. Okay. I don't got no more money after that. If like I can't live off YouTube, that's what I'm saying.
BG,
Jack, didn't he say he was going on a tropical vacation to do his
yeah,
black
he
bond?
did. Hey, yo, BG, what's going on, man?
He did say that.
What's going on, bro?
Yo, Bond go on vacation like every other month. Don't do that.
But Jack, did he not say he gonna do his black bond? He gonna do a tropical vacation? Did he say that?
He did say that. He did say that. Definitely did.
Listen, I'm out here hurting, bro. That's all I can tell y'all. It's been
in the Caribbean.
area you staying? What area in New York you staying?
Bruh.
The Sadiddy part. I already know.
What? What area is that?
Don't worry, I'm headed to Connecticut. Gonna meet up with RGT.
RGT, I'm kind of mad you didn't go to Grand Slam. I was up there, Doug.
I actually know someone that was gonna help me get into there, and it just the timing of it just because I ended up buying a piece of paper and something, whatever. I had some things.
Don't go through all that.
I had
Don't
some
go through all that, RG.
adult things that I needed to handle.
Are you which part of Connecticut you live in?
I didn't see you in the front row at the show, Baron.
I'm in the southern part.
I wasn't at Grand Slam. I had went the week before.
I'm like an hour and a half from Queens, probably hour and 15 from the city.
Are you going to the Boston show end of this month?
Is there a Boston show?
Yeah, there's a Boston show at end of this month.
I will.
All right, we need to get the hell out of here. Let me finish up.
I had one more topic to go when you're done.
Let me finish up. Colin Moriarty pretty much said that he believes, because he apparently has some inside information, that Bluepoint is working on something related to Bloodborne. And that's all he said. I mean, Bloodborne rumors are a dime a dozen, but I would assume he knows more than the average person. So I guess we'll wait and see about that. Ubisoft announced Ghost Recon Frontline, which is just another battle royale game. Just Ubisoft doing Ubisoft generic bullshit. What else was there? EA might rename FIFA. Not sure why. Might be
Why is
licensing.
everybody doing that?
Might be a licensing thing. I'm not sure, but they said they might
They might
rename
lose the
FIFA.
license, and that's probably a good thing because that game is just not good anymore.
Okay. What else? Jim Ryan said he wants PlayStation to reach more people. And he's frustrated. Pretty much he's frustrated at the pretty much the premise that there's so many people in the world. There's a whole untapped audience in gaming, and he wants to reach that audience who is not currently gaming. He's not satisfied with just the PlayStation audience who's currently supporting PlayStation products. And
Sounds like Phil Spencer.
Why do y'all act like Phil Spencer was the first person to say such a thing? Like it's
No,
just.
I'm not saying he's firm. Just saying, you know.
Oh my God.
We believe in generations.
I guess. Well, yeah. Jim Ryan said that. That made a whole bunch of.
Wasn't it?
That made a whole bunch of headlines. The Resident Evil Raccoon City trailer came out. That looks trash. Yeah, I think that's
the guy that's making that. Didn't they do like some kind of director's commentary, like trailer thing? He actually knew what he was talking about, though. It seemed like they had a lot good. I mean, it looks terrible, but
yeah, they're gonna stick more to the source material, it seems, but the movie still looks bad.
yeah,
That's
it
the
looks
thing.
bad. So
Oh
yeah,
and last
the
thing, GTA. Yeah, GTA Trilogy was confirmed by Rockstar. We still don't know how much of a remaster it actually is, but it's gonna be on mobile. That might be a bad sign.
Have you seen the pricing? Is
And Switch.
Yeah,
It's
there
gonna
is
be a different
pricing.
price on next gen, which is
60 and 70. It's 60 on last gen, 70 on current gen, right?
Yep.
Hey.
some
Yeah,
4K
nice, bro.
blocky textures going to cost us extra. Okay.
Yeah.
So the creator of Yakuza and the producer left Sega a few days ago. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And dude left Arcane Studio. He's been there for like 16 years.
Oh yeah, the studio head, right?
Yeah.
And now the person,
Microsoft buys them and he out.
and now the person that directed Yakuza Like the Dragon is taking over. Is that what I heard?
I don't know. I think he was out too. That's what Blanchard just said.
Yeah, Nagoshi was the series creator, and the producer left as well. And I think he did Like a Dragon. So it was two people that left.
Like a Dragon was an amazing game. I don't care what anybody says.
Sega's irrelevant to me, so I don't really care who leaves there.
Stop this.
But like Capcom, they're going to be primary PC. That's what they've been saying. It's been getting most of their sales.
Yuck.
Contrary to people like Baron and Trey, who used to say PC gaming is irrelevant to third-party developers. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Wait, did they actually say that's where they get the bulk of their sales from?
Yeah, Capcom came out.
Yeah, and they about to
Wouldn't be
get more.
surprising. But what I wanted to talk about, BG, I saw you on Xbox Play School's live space or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was talking. One thing I didn't understand, right? He was talking about the thing he dislikes about Sony is they don't try anything new. They keep making the same thing. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. It is very rare. It is very rare for Sony to have a franchise go past 3, let alone 4 games. Can we all agree?
Yeah. It's rare. God of War is the exception, probably.
Microsoft has been making Halo, Gears, and Forza for what seems like forever, but he's complaining about he wants to see something new. Make it make sense to me.
Well,
it depends on what he was saying though. What was his context?
Well, he's saying because there's like all the Xbox games in the pipeline. That's why it's different. Like that's why he sees Microsoft taking a chance because all the games in the pipeline that are not out yet but coming out. They're very different and add variety in his purview. The Perfect Darks and the Indiana Jones and the Redfall,
Fables and
all those are also old franchises too. That's not trying anything new.
Hey man,
Fables existed. Indiana Jones has existed. N64, Super Nintendo. What was it? Perfect Dark has existed on the 360 and the N64, and they did the remaster. Like none of those franchises are new.
Yeah, you gotta. Well, I'm sure he's gonna have another Twitter space this week. Probably every day this week. Maybe hit him up and jump in there and talk to him.
Twitter spaces were the worst idea, except for the one I did on Saltiest Gamer.
Oh man,
shout out to Salty.
Well, I got nothing left, Blandrew.
We did not read none of these super chats, man.
Oh. Go ahead and read them super chats, Jack. Damn, bro. Get on your job, Jack. You slacking, dog.
I've been trying to read them an hour ago.
Damn, bro. This thing ain't read no super chats. Like respect our viewers' money and their time, dog.
All right, man.
Hold on. Before you get too deep, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you guys.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate the chat. Here's the 300 more. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Read those super chats so we can cash that check for his rent now. Read those super
I know,
chats.
right?
Hey, man.
All right, so we got super chats. We got Jazzy Jefferson. He said Blandrew hosting episode 300 means he's gonna pull up with the Spartan kick. There we go. We got Grimey's last hair strand. He says, question for Shokyo and Blandrew. How do you guys feel about Nintendo finally giving Smash fans what they wanted? A teenage boy to play with.
That's insane.
That's heat. I ain't gonna lie. We got Fear's the greatest motivator. He said, when Sora got announced, my meat smacked the ceiling. Okay. All right, we got Brutus.
If it was BG, it wouldn't have been a good announcement.
Oh man.
It would have been average at best.
Yeah, man. We got Brutus 04. Shout out to the WWP crew. Yes, sir. We got Alice PSX. Shout out to episode 300. Rest in peace, all the fallen viewers. We lost some good ones over the years. Absolutely. We got Gaming from Canada. Congrats on 300 episodes. Appreciate it. We got Game Inspection. He said, Witcher 3 came to Switch because Nintendo put money into making that happen, and it took 15 months. Like Shokyo said, it's a time issue. We got Tarek Ahmed. It's like asking the NBA to lower the rim to 8 feet to accommodate shorter players. Tarek Ahmed
that was the
again
difficulty
said,
thing, yeah.
Tarek Ahmed said, game share is an actual feature, though. That is also true. We got the Emperor, Baron Black. He said, first, somebody called DFCS on that asinine man asking 6-year-olds to mow the grass. 2, Metroid Dread is the best seller at every store. Sales won't be an issue.
Why does Baron have to say asinine and why does he have to say asinine in every sentence?
First of all, Baron, have you beaten Super Metroid yet?
Oh no.
You already know I haven't, so why are you asking that again?
So I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
Why Metroid
it was
Dread
no
has finally come out after 19
It was no
years.
before that, and you still asking the same question.
See, these are the frauds I'm talking about, Blanchard. They be hyping up games and never even played the prior games.
You said beat or play. Beat and play is two different things.
No, beat is all that matters.
Damn.
You said play, you didn't say beat.
Did you beat? Well, you didn't play. You didn't play or beat it. You said.
Did
you beat Fusion?
You said.
Did
yeah,
you beat
I
it?
played and beat. Yeah, I beat Fusion. I did not beat Super Metroid. That's the one I did not beat.
You need to beat that game.
When I get time, I will go back and beat
It's on the Switch online.
Yeah, for real. Go play it.
Let Jack finish.
Hey,
He was probably the guy that wrote Why Can't Metroid Crawl?
Oh,
Right.
Lord. And the funny thing is, I already got stuck in Dread, so I'm pissed off. But go ahead, Jack. Move.
It's not your fault. Your sense of direction is messed up because you be taking too much file drivers.
We got Phil DVG. He said, not buying games is why Silent Hill went silent. Okay. We got Beast Slayer. He says, Sony obviously disagrees with you, Bond. Otherwise, they wouldn't have added the feature and still use it to this day. We got Andrew Wilkins. He said, a Wii was factually a piece of shit, too, that people don't even play. What? Okay, I got to read. People don't. Every
more
time.
L's than Baron's wrestling career.
Oh man! Every time you went to someone's house with their Wii was dusty and left on standby untouched. Alice PSX says crazy 300 y'all. LOL. Yes sir. We got Tarek Ahmed. He said Jaffe looked like Bullworm from SpongeBob. we got Roy. He said Jaffe wanted all the smoke. I can respect it. LOL. Powerfish. Yes sir. We got Brian Lobo. He said, when Jaffe complains about difficulty in new game releases, I don't see
we
David
didn't talk
Jaffe.
about that with them. Fuck.
No, we didn't. He said, I don't see David Jaffe, creator of God of War and Twisted Metal. I see David Jaffe, designer of Mickey Mouse, and that's not a compliment. We got Tarek Ahmed again. He said, he's a liar. Drewski voice. We got KW Fang. He said, happy episode 300, everybody. Best episode ever. Appreciate you. We got Playmaker Porter. Get Jaffe bum bleep off the podcast. The fuck? Oh, man. We got Tarek Ahmed again. He says, there's more people watching this podcast than the people who played Calling All Cars. Now, that's not nice. Okay. We got AG Crueler. There's more people watching WWP than the first week's player base of Drawn to Death. Oh, my God. We got Playmaker Porter again. He said, BG hit ATL. Let's get some good cuisine and blow kush. There you go. We got, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Tahir Tally? I can't pronounce it. My bad, fam. RGT doesn't want it to sell 3 million due to Balan. Wonder. Yes. We got Tarek Ahmed. He said, Baron using We Speak. We got Phil DVG. I think you posted in a regular style picture of one of Baron's losses and it almost, almost came back on him at work, so he quick and countered it early.
But you know what would have been? You know what should have happened, Jack?
What's that?
Baron got my. He was like, "Yo, Bond, can you take that down?" I'm like, "Sure, Baron. My bad." That's all that could have happened.
Look, stop it. What should have happened is you should have never made no content like that.
No.
That's what should have
You
happened.
can't tell me what content I should not make, but you could have came to me like, "Man, like, yo, Bond, can you take that?" I'm like, "Sure, Baron. My bad."
Hey, look,
I
listen.
taken it right down. Bond, right down.
Bond, you preach about people being grown ass men.
Look,
you knew what the
can't
content
help
was
what
going to
other
do.
people do, Baron.
But you knew what that content was going to do.
I don't know. People
Yes, you do.
People probably say things about him and Nyla Rose all the time.
Jack,
Doesn't
why
mean
is this
people
boy
can't
capping
post
so
it.
much? Why is this boy capping so much, Jack? Like we all, me, Jack, and everybody knew what you was trying to do, and it's like you can't do that.
People make fun of your wrestling every week. They made fun of you when you got beat up by
Jack.
Cheeseburger.
Jack, it was never about my wrestling. And Jack, it was never about my wrestling. So you knew what you was doing, Bond.
Like I said, you could have easily just hit me up.
No,
with
Bond, I
I
would definitely have more respect for you to say, you know what, my bad, I shouldn't have did something like that. But you just
first of
keep
all,
being excuses for it.
nobody even knew why you blocked me originally till then.
Okay, all right, Bond.
You ain't tell nobody. You ain't say nothing.
I didn't. That needs to be said.
Exactly.
There was nothing to be said. We saw the outcome, so there was nothing else to be said.
But you know what the funny thing is? Zaire had a whole lot to say about that, but you still showed up to his podcast, didn't you? That's funny.
A whole lot to say about what? What are you talking about?
About Sonny Kiss and all that stuff.
I can't control what Zaire say, but I can control what I'm tagged in.
But you went on his podcast after that. Even though he was
No, that was before that.
No.
That was before that.
Because he was making fun of you in the podcast.
Bond. Nobody did what you did content-wise.
He
Period.
was posting
There's
emails
not-
about
there's nothing
you,
else you can say.
making fun of you in the podcast, but you were still in there cool.
Okay, listen, Bond. I don't care if he was making fun of me. It was the other stuff that was going on.
He was making fun of the other guys
that
too.
could not.
He was making.
Bond, Jack, please tell this man that nobody did what he did. Nobody did what you did.
I was not making thumbnails on that man. I was not making fun of that man directly to your face, but you just let it slide.
Bond, you was not making fun of that man at all.
What?
Not at all.
Anything. I post laughing emojis.
You wasn't making fun of that man and tagging me in it, so that way you could come up in the search and search with me in it.
No, I didn't tag you at all. I posted the video and posted 3 laughing emojis.
Okay. All right, man. All right, Bond. It's
all I'm saying is you need to keep that.
All
same
I'm saying is I keep the same. All you got to do is say, "Cool, I shouldn't have did that." That's it.
No,
it ain't even got to be that deep.
You showed up on another man's platform.
No. Nobody put out the content that you put to put the subliminal messages that you had. Nobody did that.
On another man's podcast, I was making fun of you.
Yeah, I want to do this in After Dark, so Jack can
Oh, I thought we were in After Dark.
No, we got a couple more super chats.
No, let him finish that. Let him finish that.
Okay.
Let him finish his super chat.
What Zaire bust your ass in Madden or something? You got your number?
No, nobody ever beats me in Madden. Never.
God, you know that's a lie.
All right, we got Eddie Mendoza. He said Jaffe is good people. Have him on more often. Yeah, it ain't no problem with that. We got Next Gen 720 said send the link, and we got him in here. So that was earlier. We got Random 15 UI. He said let the bot father in, make it one for the ages. Brian Lobo says, can somebody translate this guy's English, please? He was talking about Zaire. We got Iman Rich the Swag Lord. He said, shout out to Weapon Wheel. Congrats on 300 episodes. Best game and podcast. Appreciate you, my guy. We got S Blanks in 95. He said that Andreas dude be slaving for Sony, but don't own a PS5, but be on his Xbox Series console all the time. Makes no sense. Oh, shit. We got Andrew Wilkins. He says, Salty's another example of what I say about whites. Hold on. They all be acting the same. Self-entitled, even when bummy and broke like dealer. Salty's the same.
I was going to say
Hey,
that's a white guy, isn't it?
It ain't all white guys. Just saying. I try not to put myself in that category.
I don't want to say he was acting white, but he was definitely acting.
Hey yo, why would Zaire came in? Somebody dude in the Discord posted Donnie from the Wild Thornberries.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my god.
Salty is the same dude who cursed out crap for flip-flop and then he did it. We got same old 23. That Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is heat. Got the platinum for that game. Y'all check it out. Music is fire too. They catch the vibe for the shows. Hustle and motivate. Happy 300, y'all. Appreciate you. Max B. Baron, give Jack Sonny Kiss's number. He's a big fan. I actually seen that person wrestle before. They cool. They're a dope wrestler. Oh, we got Derpy. It said, you dislike the Sly game, BG? Would it have been okay to end it in 2005, but that abomination in 2013 necessitates a proper fourth game, so the series can end on a high note. Also, why no Streamlabs? Anyway, very great episodes lately. And I believe that's finally it. Nope, that's not it, because I see one right here. Okay, I just read that one. All right. Good.
Is that $300? What is NOK?
I think that's like $20.
I think it's Norwegian or something.
Yeah, that's like $20.
Who's that chick with Janela who's pretty athletic? What's she doing?
Wait, let me wrap up first. Let me wrap up. We out of here, episode 300. We appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. You don't got nothing else, right, Blandrew? That I can turn.
No,
off?
I'm good.
All right, we'll catch y'all. Well, I won't be here next week. But
you be spending that money on the island.
Hey man, chill. Assuming there's stuff to talk about, there's still going to be a podcast, but I won't be here. So, Smoove is supposed to be hosting, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, Back for Blood gonna get a whole 30-minute topic segment, so it's gonna be cool.
Oh god damn it!
Yes, Smoove will be hosting next week, so maybe you got to top this episode, Smoove. I mean, I don't know how you gonna top that.
Oh man.
Yeah, get some big Xbox dude. Get Phil Spencer or something.
I'm gonna start recruiting now.
Yeah, hit up Phil Spencer. You and him are close, right?
Get the most toxic of Xbox fans you can find.
I just want to say,
Xbox University was already on last week.
No clout in the Xbox community. None for Blandrew.
You said in the Xbox community?
I mean, the Nintendo community, no clout. BG had to get RGT.
I got Shokyo and Baron here.
Baron don't count. That nigga don't play games.
All right, we out. Going to After Dark.
All right, two things we gotta talk about in After Dark: Squid Games and the fight.
Oh man, Squid Game.
Right.
What y'all talking about with Squid Game?
Plenty of tried and plenty of failed. You can run and hide, but you can't dodge what's in my weapon well. Name another pot that's big or small, I'm contesting it still. Name another spot or any section, I'm king of the hill. Name another squad that wanna test it, I'm beating them still. Bye. No, you can't dodge what's in my weapon well. Name another pot that's big or small, I'm contesting it still. Name another spot or any section, I'm king of the hill. Right. I know my bro king got me. See, that's a black bond that can't be broken. No Idris Elba, I'm a black bond, aiming a scope and all black panel. You can never try playing us token. Yeah, we playing games, but now one of us playing or joking. Not at all. Oh wait, then Jack Move came in with the trophies, God in a lane of its own. Like, how can you gamers approach me? Tell kids move to body you in Halo, then send your family an angel emoji. You should've known, dog, you ain't got enough Series X's. Blind got all the answers, no, you ain't gotta ask Siri questions. All the latest gaming news, gotta be here to check it. Since 2015 and beyond, I'm just here to respect it. When you at the top of your tier, it's a blessing. From the bottom, so no way we appear to be desperate. This for anybody doubting, I'm clearing a message. And if you ever had a problem, I'm here to correct. Plenty of fail. You can run and hide, but you can't dodge what's in my weapon well. Name another pot that's big or small, I'm contesting it still. Name another spot or any section, I'm king of the hill. Name another squad that wanna test it, I'm beating them still. No, you can't dodge what's in my weapon well. Name another pot that's big or small, I'm contesting it still. Name another spot or any section, I'm king of the hill. Right. I know what it is, man. Weapon World Podcast, y'all know what we got in the building, man. We got BG. We got Kid Smoove, we got Jack Move, we got BlackBaron, I mean. Blandrew, I mean, what you can't out strafe us, bro. Like, the strafe too strong.